Hello. Yeah, I've started the streaming. It's on the System Commands channel. So let me quickly get started. So today I'll just take the first hour. After that, we'll continue with the TS session. Yeah, Sudhanshu.
Sir, is for the system command or for Linux also?
It's for both. So it's the quiz revision and TS session afterwards.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, okay. So we have finished off with the first 3 weeks, week 1 to 3 in yesterday's session. So we'll continue with the pattern matching. So I'll not go through obviously everything in detail. So I'll leave that to you. But I will quickly summarize a few important things. Right, so the first thing is the globs, right? So even before we go into grep for pattern matching, right inside bash we have globbing, right? Which we can use. So for example, if you let me increase the size. If you have some files in your directory, let's say, let me create some files and some other files. Let's say if you have some files like this, okay, let me move this to another folder. Mm, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. So if you have, let's say, some files in your current working directory and you want to match them, so instead of writing their full name, you can also use globs in your bash. So you don't need to use grep for that. Directly inside your shell, you can do that. So one, I've already done that, but I'll do it again so that you can see. So for example, if I do echo file star, right? So here the star stands for any character, any number of times. So don't confuse this with the dot star in regex. So regex is different, globs are different. Both serve the same purpose of pattern matching, but both are different. Right? So they have different syntax. So here we don't need dot star because star itself means any character, any number of times. And also in globs, the left and right side are automatically anchored. So this cannot match anything that contains file in the middle. It has to start with file. Right? So the starting anchor is implied. So what this means is any file in the current directory that starts with the letters FILE and then has any character any number of times. So if you do this, you will see this automatically expands to all the files in your current directory that match this pattern. Similarly, you can do for the test also. It's the same thing. So star is one such glob that we have in bash or ZSH. Similarly, you have question mark, which will only match one character. So if let's say I also have a file 11,
So what do you mean by glob?
so glob is this way of pattern matching in bash, right? So what we are discussing right now. For example, if I use a star here to match more than one file, right? So as you can see, this expands to this. This is done by bash itself. Before the echo command is called, bash first expands this into all the files that match this pattern in the current directory, and then it is sent to echo. So this thing is called a glob. This is
Okay,
one example of a glob.
okay.
Yeah. So the star expands to any number of characters. So you can see both file 1 and file 11, both of these are matched. But if we use a question mark instead, this only expands to a single character, right? So you can see file 11 is not part of the result anymore. So this is because, as I said, these globs are anchoring, automatically anchoring. So this means not just like this pattern should not be present anywhere in between the file name, but this should be the entire file name. So the file name should start with FILE, then there can be any one character, and then that's the end of the file name. So that does not match this file name. That's why this is not present, and the other ones are present here. Right, so stars is any character any number of times. Question mark is any character present exactly once. Similarly, you can also match any characters, like any of a fixed set of characters using square brackets. So if I don't want all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if I just want, let's say 1, 3, and 5, the odd numbers, I can say 1, 3, 5, and this will expand to only those. Right. So here again, this is another glob in Bash, which takes either this one or this one or this one. So this is again similar to how we have it in regex, but again, remember that regex and globs are different. Right? So this is how you can select some characters. You can also select a range of characters using the minus symbol. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I just want 2 to 4. Then I can do 2-4. Right? So then we just get file 2, file 3, and file 4. You don't get file 1, file 5, file 11, all those. And this is not a number, right? So this is just one character. So you cannot say something like 2 to 11. Right? So this will not work because this is not a number. So Bash will not treat it that, okay, start from the number 2 and go till number 11. So these are just single characters. So you cannot go to double character here. So what this means is 2 to 1 or 1. So that's why we only get 1 here. If you want 11, you have to specifically mention 11 here. Yeah.
Sir, what that question mark was doing?
Question mark is a single character, any single character.
Oh,
So here we have 2 characters, so this will not match. Only the single characters are matching. Yeah.
So, like in the brace expansion, we use double
Yeah.
dot. Will this also
Yeah.
work here?
No, double dot does not work here. So for example, if I do double dot 5, this, okay, I think double dot does work, right? Let
But
me
it
test
will,
it in Bash once. Yeah, I think double dot also works. But
but
I think this dot is not the range, right? This is just taking 2 or 5 or dot. So you can see these 3 and 4 are not printed.
right.
It's not a range expansion. This will just, it's same as like you putting any other letter here, right? So if you had things like file Z or file H, those will be also matched. But because we don't have, only the ones that we have, file 2 and file 5, those are printed. If you want range, then you have to use the hyphen here. Right? And also you can invert the match using a exclamation. So if I say exclamation 225, okay, I think this is, let me test it in Bash.
It's for negation.
Yeah, it's for negation. So you can see everything that is not 225 that comes up. So only file 1 is coming. So can anyone say why file 11 is not coming?
Because again, a two-digit number, 11.
Yes, exactly. So here again, these are not numbers but characters, right? So I'm saying the name should be FILE and then one character which is not 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So it cannot have 2 characters. So that's why only possibility is file 1.
Sir, can we put question mark in the square bracket?
Question mark in the square bracket? No, that doesn't make sense, no? Because
Okay.
the square bracket, like if you want to match this question mark symbol literally, then you can put. But if you want to like use the special meaning, right? So match any character, then like just the question mark should work fine. The square bracket is for matching specific characters. So if
Sir,
I do that here, then it will work. Yeah.
Sir, I didn't understand how we are like because Echo is used to print certain things on standard output, but here Echo we are using to match file names in a particular directory.
No, so that is again one misconception most of you have. Echo is not doing the matching. The Bash globbing itself is doing the matching.
Okay.
Just writing this Bash itself before I run this, like when I run this, before calling Echo, Bash itself is expanding this to the files in the correct directory.
Right.
And it is just passing that expanded thing to Echo. And Echo does nothing but print its argument to the standard out. So that's why we are getting at printed. But even if I don't use echo, so for example, let's say the one that we were doing before. So let's say this one, right, 224. So if I don't do the echo, this will still expand. So it will expand and then it will try to run this. So it will try to run a command called file2 with arguments file3 and file4, which obviously will not work because file2 is not a valid command. So this is still expanding. As you can see, it is not saying file square bracket 2 minus 4. It's just saying file2 because it is still expanding, but it is trying to run that as a command. So we don't want to run this as a command. We want to print it to the screen. So that's why we use echo to print it to the screen.
Understood.
The expansion is done by bash itself, not echo. Right, so that is globbing. You can go through the more examples that we have, right? So basically it is a very small thing. So it's not too powerful or not meant to do a lot of things. It's mostly when you're trying to match files while in the terminal of the current working directory, then you can use the globs to do that. However, for better pattern matching, we usually use the regular expressions. Right? So regular expression is another way of pattern matching. So this has more syntax for doing certain things. So there are three widely used regular expression types. One is BRE, one is ERE or extended regex, and another is PCRE or Perl compatible. So in our course, we don't really look into PCRE too much. So we'll mostly discuss about BRE and ERE. So
Sir,
yeah,
sir, from where we can get this PDF?
this one is part of your week 0, right? We've gone
Also, the
through.
PDF which you are.
Yes, this is part of your week 0, right? Have you gone through the course portal? In your week 0, you have this present. We have shared this yesterday also. 1 second. You have this here, right? You can go through this one. This is the same book.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So BRE and ERE, so they're more or less the same. There is only a very small difference that we will discuss. But PCRE, it has a lot of other powerful things, but we will not go through them because they're not part of the syllabus. But if you're actually interested, you can look into them. So they actually give you a lot of more pattern matching power. So BRE is like the most famous regular expression in grep. The default engine that is used is BRE. So unless you specify minus capital E or unless you use egrep, the BRE engine will be used. Right? So here also a few of them are very similar to globbing, but there's a small difference. So here star means match 0 or more occurrence, but you cannot just use star. You have to, the star is a qualifier, so you have to use it after something that you are matching. So for example, let me create a folder for that.
When you say BRE, what does it mean?
It's basic regular expressions.
I'm just asking this question regarding yesterday's this file and folder systems. This engine where it comprises of multiple files, is it?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
This engine consists of multiple files put together, is it? Or it is only one single executable?
No, so BRE is a way of evaluating regular expression. It's like a protocol. It's how you parse regular expressions. BRE is one, ERE is another. So in grep, you can specify which one you want to use. By if you use minus E, then it will use ERE. If you don't, then by default it will use BRE.
I just want to understand that engine.
Yeah, it's a set of protocols, right?
This engine is a set of protocols only.
Yeah. It's how you are parsing the regular expression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let me quickly create a file so that I can demonstrate this. Or let me copy. Let's see if I have. Yeah, I have the words. So here I have copied a file that contains all dictionary words that are present in English, more or less. Right? So we can use this to test out regex. So here, if I am, let's say I just write something like Apple and I search it in this words, so it will print all the words or all the lines that have the string APPLE inside. So as you can see, it doesn't need to anchor to the left or right. If it's present in between also, it will also print. So these are all the lines in the file that contain the string APPLE. Right, so here we are not using any special characters. All of these are normal characters and I'm matching exactly for those characters. But one such thing is the star. Right? So star is a syntax that means 0 or more occurrences. So instead of PP, I can just write P star. And what this means is match A and then either 0 occurrences of P and then LE, or 1 occurrence of P and LE. So it will match things like ALE, APLE, APPLE, APPPLE, right? And so on till infinity. So all the possible combinations of P from 0 to infinity. So it will match those which are there. So as you can see now, not just Apple, but things that have ALE in them are being matched. Right? So that is what the star does. So unlike in globbing, where star itself means any character any times, in regex, the star is a qualifier that applies to the character before the star. So here it is applying to the P. So there can be 0, 1 or more P present in this. So this also matches apples if you go up. So there are a lot of ones without P, but if you go up, you can see, yeah, so there are some single P's here and there are some double P's also here. Right? So that is how the plus works. But if you don't want 0 occurrences, right? So let's say you don't want these, you only want the ones that have either 1 or more P. So in that case, we use the plus symbol. But plus directly will not work in BRE. So as you can see, it gives no result. So you have to escape the plus by using a backslash. So if you escape the plus using a backslash, now this means 1 or more. So now you can see we don't get the 0 occurrence of P, right? So you don't get ALE. You get at minimum 1 occurrence. So this one, APLE, or you get 2 occurrences, APPLE. Or if there are 3 also, those will be there, but I don't think in English we have such word. Right? So the plus you have to escape in BRE. But if you're using ERE, then you can use it directly without escaping. So that is the difference between BRE and ERE. So like this, there are like 7 syntaxes which need to be escaped in BRE, but don't need to be escaped in ERE. And that is more or less the only difference between BRE and ERE. Right? So we have seen star. Now the dot character is another special syntax, which basically means any character. So I can do AP.LE and it will match obviously the Apple ones, but it will also match any character after the P. So the dot means match any character, but this will match exactly once. Right? So this is similar to the question mark in the globbing. So where it means match any character exactly once. Here in regex, dot means match any character exactly once. So as you can see here, we have P, PE, we have PU. So all of these characters are being matched using the dot. So if you then want to do something like the star in globbing, where it means any character any number of times, then you have to do dot star, which means any character present any number of times. So now you can see it matches all of these words, right? So vaporize also, vaporizable. So why is it matching vaporizable? Because it starts with AP and then there is any character present any number of times. So this entire thing is matched by dot star and then LE, right? So which matches the last one. Right? So hopefully this part is clear. So these are the basic regex things. Hopefully I've already gone through these. Yeah.
So, sir, means like star and plus. The difference is only that plus is only for 1 or more time, and star is for 0, 1 or more than 1 time, right?
Yes, yes. So star includes 0, but plus does not include 0.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And
So
so
is there
yeah, go ahead.
is there any generic syntax for regex? Like every time some or other things are changed, and I mean, like you are maybe not you, but specifically, like I'm saying, many times we expect, okay, this is the final, but then there are more things around it. So, is there any generic syntax that if I learn that, then any regex expression I can write after that?
It comes with practice, right? So I can understand your frustration. Anytime you're learning something new, it might feel overwhelming, but everything has its own pattern and logic in it. So BRE is obviously it's set in stone, right? It does not change day to day. If you learn BRE once properly, if you actually understand it, it'll never change in 100 years. And ERE is also very simple. It's just 7 characters. The meaning is different. So we'll also come to that after this. So there's not much that changes really. So you have to understand the differences between regex and globbing. That is one thing where people get confused. If you confuse globs with regex, then that is one issue. The other thing is BRE and ERE. So the difference is pretty simple there. So again, there if you confuse the which one you're using, then you may feel frustrated. But other than that, it's pretty set in stone. So it doesn't change really.
Sir, little bit if you can explain the grouping, because sometimes, like for example, looking for grouping is a little difficult. I mean, not I have done like there were many questions in the practice one, and the this DPT two also there was one question in which the grouping was asked.
Yeah, we'll
So
come to grouping after this. Yes, we have grouping around.
by the way,
Yeah,
this book
yeah.
is really great, sir. Okay, I mean it's a great job done by you. It's a very nice book.
Uh,
I enjoyed a lot
Thanks.
reading it.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll come to grouping after this. So let me quickly go through the ones. So basically, this is a summary kind of thing, right? So once we go through this, any other doubts also we'll pick it up. So that's fine.
Bounded
Yeah.
slash we also use here, no?
Yeah, word boundary we use /b. Yes. So yeah, let me quickly go through the anchorings. So as you said, /b is one anchoring for word boundary. We also have the line boundaries, so start of the line and end of the line. So we use the caret for the start and the dollar for the end of the line. So for example, here, as you can see, some of the matches are in the middle, some are at the end. So if you, let's say you want the, it has to be at the end, right? So things like the last 2 matches should not be there. So the LE should be the end of the line. So then you can use a dollar here. And now you can see only those that end with LE are being matched. But still we have things that are not starting with what we wrote, right? So we still have something at the left. So we can also use caret here to match the start of the line. So now we are matching both the start and the end of the line. So then we get only words that start with AP, end with LE, and have 0 or more characters in between. So these are the anchoring of line. Similarly, you have word anchoring also. So in this, because we only have single words in a line, it is more or less the same thing. But if you have multiple words in a line, then the word boundary can be used to match the boundaries of words, right? So if you have something to the left of this or something to the right of this, those will be ignored. Right?
So
So
the
the
dollar
yeah.
is taking it should take only one preceding character, right?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
It should only take E in this example, right? It is taking LE both. How?
So dollar doesn't take anything. Dollar means the end of the line. So I'm telling match this pattern where there's a start of the line, there is A, P, then there is any character any number of times, then there is L, then there is E, then there is the end of the line.
Okay,
So
this is for the whole line. Yes.
yeah. So it will basically match only those that has exactly this pattern. So the line ends after E.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
This caret and dollar
Yeah.
and the word boundary, the /b and /b, gives the same result, is it?
It's as I said, right? It's for this case because here we have only one word in each line. But if you have multiple words, right? So, for example, let me create a simple example. Right. So let's say I am grepping something that starts with H, right? So if I do H dot star in test, we'll see the entire thing is being matched. But if let's say I want to only match words, right? I want to say that match a word that starts with H and it has any character after that. So I can do backslash B to the left and right. So what this means is match a word boundary, then H, then any character, and then the word boundary. So only match words that start with H. So, okay, why is this not working? Oh yeah,
Sir,
because the dot star, the dot
Dot
matches
star.
everything. Yeah, right. So maybe if we use A to Z here, right? So then you can see it's matching only these. So this one and this one. So the word boundary is used to match the boundary. So for example, if I have another character word that has H in between, so if I don't use the word boundary, right? So then you can see this one is also matched from the middle. But if I don't want that, if I only want it to match from the boundary of the word, then backslash B will help you with that. So now you can see this is not matched, right? Only these two are matched.
Yeah, can you just replace this both slash B
Yeah.
with caret and dollar?
No, so that will not work, right? Because that means the entire line should just have this. So you will not get any output. So what this means, the line should start with H and then any character,
Okay,
and
dollar
then
is
star
for the
and then
line. Okay.
end of the line. Yeah, so this will not work because you have spaces in between, right? You don't have a single word in this line. Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, there was this question there in the BPT 2 problem. It was there.
Hmm.
Even though I was able to do it, but I was just looking for a different way. For example, it was HTML, text was
Yeah.
there, and you need
Yeah.
to take out the names of, there was country name and there was the capital name there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was like between two diamond brackets. Okay,
Yeah.
so like, so when I was doing using grep, I was using egrep for that. Okay, and I was
Yeah.
able to get the capital name as well as the country name. Okay, but
Yeah.
along with that, that diamond bracket was also coming. Okay,
Yeah.
but I, if I want to write a grep, so that will not come and only the capital should come, because then I have to pipe it to another grep so that it can be removed.
Which question was this? BPT2 problem 1, is it?
Problem,
Yeah.
I think so, it was 1 or 2 something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just one.
Problem. Yeah, this one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So what you're saying is so let me move this script to yeah. So you're saying that if you write a script where you are matching, let's say, the brackets.
uh-huh. And then there's a letter there, and after that there's an empty bracket there, and it
Yeah.
yeah, and then
Yeah. So
this
if you
should yeah,
okay.
no, it should, the test will
Uh,
not pass because along with that it will also come. You are actually not putting a star, you should put a plus. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was only single.
Yeah.
The
Still not.
reason is, these
y-
both are also coming along, like the two diamond
Yeah.
brackets will also come, so then you have
Yeah.
to use another grep or cut command so that you can replace them. Better would be
Yes. Yes. So
you,
the way you can another way you can do is using TR. You can use TR minus D to drop the angle brackets.
TR.
Yeah.
What is
So
this
what
TR?
TR?
Trim.
So
TR
this
is
is very annoying, right? Every time you are just looking for, and there's something new there, and I'm not knowing it.
yes, I can understand your frustration, but this is not the place or time to bring out your frustration, right? If you're
Ah,
learning anything new,
okay.
you will be facing such challenges as, okay, there is so much to learn, right? So
Okay. Sorry, sir, for that.
instead of getting disheartened, you have to take it up, right? So you can see TR is already, if you go to the end, right? So TR is already part of this. We've also discussed TR in the, I think in the videos also it's there. And also here we have explained TR. So TR is a very simple command. It is used for two to three small things. One is for substitution. So you can use TR to substitute things. So for example, you can use TR to, let's say I want to substitute A with B. Right? So here if I give apple, this becomes BTPLE. So substitutions is there. Also you can use TR to drop characters. So I can do -D to drop the character that I have mentioned. So it can drop single character. It can also drop multiple characters. So I can say drop A and P's from the text. So it will drop the A and all the P's that are there. You can go through what TR is. Obviously, TR is not the only solution, right? So as you said, you can use grep there. You can do other ways also. So for example, this is one way. You can also use grep here, right? So you can use grep O and then anything that is not a left or right angle bracket. This should also work, right? You should have to do it with a plus. This is also another solution. So just because I use TR doesn't mean that is the only solution. Even if you don't know TR, you should be able to solve this question.
So
So you
what
can
is
use
this
grep.
grep?
Yeah, you're right, sir. And I understand what you want to say.
Yeah.
Apologies if you felt bad because of the behavior,
No,
but
it's not about.
it was not at all intentional. I was just a little
No, I got
frustrated.
it. Yeah.
And sir, little bit, if you can help me to understand, like for example, if grep is there and I give a pattern to it, it will do it. But what if I like want the opposite? I don't want this. That is something which I was not able to do. And I used to use, I mean, mostly I'm using egrep with -v argument so that it will exclude whatever pattern was there. But
so
how do you?
-v is when you want to print those lines that don't have this pattern. But here we have in one line itself, we want to drop this, right? So in that case, we can use this.
This hat operator.
Yeah, so here we are negating. So match any character that is not left angle bracket or right angle bracket.
So
Present
negating,
one or more times.
sir, for negating, everything has to be inside a square bracket.
Yes, anything you want to negate, it has to be inside the square bracket.
That's
And
right.
the
But
square bracket starts with the character.
suppose the previous question, this question that you were doing, I don't want the capital and the thing. So can I just put it in a square bracket and a negation sign in front of it, and it will not take that? Will that work?
Capitalism?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Like for example, suppose whatever we have written, I want a negation of it, right? For the current question. So what do I do in this?
The
same
explain it a bit more detail. So it depends, right? So if you want to not print a line that has a pattern, then you can use the grep -v. But if you want to
grep minus grep -v and egrep minus. Okay, so grep -v works for grep also.
Yeah,
I thought it used to only work for egrep.
No, so first of all, egrep is deprecated. We don't really use egrep. Egrep is same as grep minus capital E. So both are the same thing. So egrep
Okay,
is
so
not
which is
different.
more recent, grep or egrep?
Egrep and grep are the same command, right? That is what I'm saying. Egrep, the binary we don't use anymore. Instead, we use grep minus capital E. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing. They're using extended regex basically. So any flag you have in grep, you will also have in egrep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So -v argument we pass when we don't want to look for in a particular line.
Yes, I'll give you an example. So here we have, so let me use a smaller example. So let's say you have some fruits here. Right, and you don't want any line that contains apple. So if you do grep apple negation, you will get apple and pineapple. If you do grep minus V apple negation, you will get banana and watermelon. So minus V prints those lines that don't have a match. Without that, it prints lines that has a match.
And what if I okay, so you've written the negation word along with it.
That is name of the file name.
Okay, the name of the file. But like, if I don't want apple, then what should I do? Like the minus, like in the same line.
Okay, if you have multiple things in a same line, right?
Yeah.
And you want the line to be printed, but you don't want the apple
That
word to
word
be
to be
printed.
yeah.
Yeah, so there basically you have what you have to do is so if I just print anything in this, it'll print the entire line.
Yeah.
If
Minus O and V.
no, that will not work, right? So if you do minus O minus V apple,
Apple.
yeah,
Like the
it'll not
negation
print
sign
anything.
is the negation sign you said.
No, so this one minus V will ignore the entire line. Negation, it is for single characters, right? You cannot use it for a word. It is for character. So if you want to match
It's only for
anything,
a single character.
yeah, it's for single or multiple characters, but in this case, it will not work. So, for example, if you say anything
Sir,
that
we
is
can use the earlier method that you showed, right? Like A star and E before E, then slash B, and in front of it should also be slash B.
yeah, you can do something like that. So something like word boundary and then
Word
doesn't
boundary.
start
Yeah.
with A and then dot star, something like this without the minus B, of course. This might work, but it has to depend on the line, right? However you're doing. So in this case, I know, okay, if I don't want apple, so and then there are multiple words after that, I can match a word boundary and then the word should not start with A. Right? So in
It
this
should
case, this,
include that word.
yeah.
Mm.
But obviously, if it's in middle, then this will not work.
Yeah. If it is in the middle, like for example, apple is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
then
that,
then it'll not work.
Sir,
Yeah.
if we give grape minus O and in the colon apple, does it work or not? Still, we
Like
have to
this.
give yes.
No, so this will just print apple, but we want the opposite, right? We want everything other than apple.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in that case, it's better to use something like sed or awk, right?
said,
It's way
yeah,
easier
yeah.
just
Said.
to use sed. So you can just remove apple from the line. That will be easier.
Sir, in quiz one till week 4, we will be asked as it was in the previous terms, right?
Yes, it's still week 4. I'll suggest to know the basics of shell variables, not the details,
Okay.
but the basics of shell variables. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like what is a home, what is path, what is username, what is something like that, right? All this.
yeah, that and also how to use variables. So if I say a equals 1, 2, 3,
Like how
yeah,
do we make our own shell variables with
yeah,
dollar sign?
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yes.
And sir, when will be our OPP for this thing? Like,
OPP
system?
is in OPP 2, no? It's in August.
OPP 1 is not
No, we
going to be
don't
there.
have OPP 1. You can go through the grading doc. It should have the dates there.
Okay, so for system command, we don't have OPP 1. Like BPTs are
No.
like OPP.
Yeah. You can go through the grading doc. That
Okay.
you can get the details there. Yeah, we can use cut also. Yes, yeah, correct. Okay, let me get back on track. So so just like the globbing, right, where we can use the multiple characters in brackets. So we already saw a little bit of this. We can also do this in regex. So for example, if I want to see anything that starts with A, and then there can be either P or B after it, right? So if I want to print something like that from the words, or let's and have E after that. So then you can see that both this this word that has APE and this word that has ABE are being printed. That is because I've used P and B in square brackets. So it means match either the pattern APE or the pattern ABE. Right? So that is how this square bracket works. But as we saw, we can also negate this. So if I put caret here, so this symbol is called a caret symbol. So if I put a caret here, then it means match any pattern that is A followed by any character that is not P or B followed by E. Right? So this is still one character, so it will not match multiple characters. It's still one character, but that character can be anything except P or B. Right? So now you can see we are getting a lot of results. So anything like AVE, ATE, ADE, ACE, ALE, everything that is except P and B. Right? So this is usually useful if you know a certain pattern is followed in a file. Right? So if you want to match certain characters, or you can match invert of certain characters, so that you can do this way. So one very useful use of this is, let's say if you want to extract something in between some brackets. So let's say I have this bracket. This is a small example. Right? And if you want to extract everything in between the brackets, so what I can do is I can match the opening bracket, obviously. So if I do that, so you will see that, okay, this opening bracket is matched. Now, if I do dot star here, what will happen? What will be the match?
Anything with the opening bracket.
Anything with the opening bracket till the end.
Till the end of
Till
line.
the end, right? So it will match as much as possible. So as you can see, if I'm using dot star, then it is matching as much as possible. It is going outside the bracket also. Right? So dot means any character. So instead of any character, I want to match any character except the closing bracket. Right? So then instead of dot, what I can do is I can say any character except the closing bracket. Right? So look at this syntax for some time, try to understand this. So this is the literal opening bracket. Then this square bracket means basically, so pick any character in this. And then the hat means negation, right? So I'm saying this can be any character except the closing bracket. And then that can be present 0 or more times. Right? So now if I do this, this will only match. So this is still going to match as much as possible. But of course, it cannot match after this, right? Because this closing bracket, it cannot match. And because the star means match as much as possible, but it has to be continuous. So then it stops here. So that is how you can extract things that is inside brackets. So now if I put a closing bracket here, and if I give a -O to only print what is matched, you can easily extract things that are inside brackets. And this will work for all the like multiple matches also. So if I have multiple matches here, right, everything will be extracted. So if I do this, you can see all the things that are present inside brackets are separated and printed on separate lines. Right? So that is also done by the -O. If there are multiple matches in a single line, they are printed on separate lines if you're using -O. So this is one use case of these square brackets.
Sir,
Yeah.
we don't need to add here a slash because we are not using egrep. We are using just grep.
Slash for?
Slash for the means whenever we are using any special
Escape character, sir.
Yeah, so here we are just using the star and the square brackets, right? So the square bracket and star, both of them are part of BRE directly, right? So we don't need the backslash. If I was using plus here, plus is not part of BRE, right? So then I need the backslash. So then it works. If I don't have the backslash, then it will not work.
This except the bracket is necessary for this extraction. Very small.
Which one?
And yellow. Except
the
bracket.
Yeah, right. So if you don't have that, if you just have dot, right, as we saw, then it will match the entire thing. Right? So you can see it's matching the full thing. If I have multiple in a single word, I'm saying starts with a opening bracket, then any character any number of times, and then ends with a closing bracket. So if I have multiple, it will match the entire thing as one match. So this is not what we want. If I want to match them individually, especially let's say there is some other word also in between, right? So this may not make sense in English, but bear with me. Right? So this is matching the entire, like from the starting till the ending. So that is not what we want. So that's why we use the not closing bracket, so that it is only matching each instance.
Sir, if we want only like we don't want the bracket, only the content, what will be the command actually?
Yeah, same thing, no? You can remove the brackets using tr.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can also do that using grep again. So you can say match anything that is not a opening or a closing bracket present as many times as possible. It will also give you the same output. So this is basically just matching the inner part. So the first command is printing this, and then the second command is just matching the inner word, and it is printing that.
In place of note, can we use exclamation marks?
No, so that's what, right? So the exclamation mark doesn't work here. That works in the globbing. So in regex, you use the caret symbol for negation, whereas in globbing, you use the exclamation mark for negation. So as you saw, exclamation mark is used for negation in globbing. But in regex, you will use the caret for negation.
In this command, how it is distinguishing between the words within the bracket and not...
Yeah, so this one is first printing only these, right? This is printing only the words in brackets. So this we saw already how it's
this
working.
is very clear because you start with a bracket. Can you please come down? Can you come to the last command? Because here, bracket, here we do not have the bracket at all, right? The last...
No, so this one is first running, right? This is running on the file.
Okay.
And then on its output, we are doing this.
Okay, it's on the follow. Okay.
Yeah. On the output of this command, we are running this command. Yeah. Okay. So we already saw plus, right? So in BRE, we use \plus. In ERE, it is just plus. So plus is similar to star. It is 1 or more instead of 0 or more. We also have question mark here, which is not same as question mark of globbing. So question mark means match exactly one character. That in regex is done by dot. So rather the question mark here in ERE actually means match 0 or 1 occurrence. So for example, if I do grep AP question mark LE, and this is ERE, so I have to escape it in the words. So you can see I'm getting words that don't have P at all, so 0 occurrences. I will also get words that have 1 occurrences of P, hopefully, somewhere. This is a very big dictionary, so maybe I can use something else. But yeah, so this is basically either present 0 times or present 1 times. So 1 second, let me try something else. So let's say this doesn't work. Oh yeah, I have to escape this. Yeah, so you can see I'm getting the matches which is just apple. So this is what I wrote. I'm getting the matches which is just apple, but I'm also getting this match where I have E apple, right? So from pineapple, I'm getting E apple. So question mark means whatever is there before it, match it once or 0 times. So it cannot match more than once. So if there are multiple E's, it will not match. And it can match if it's 0 or if it's 1. Yeah.
For what are the symbols? Means we have to use black slash.
Yes, I'll come to that. So in BRE, right? So in ERE, there are 7 characters that are there, which are not there in BRE directly. So they are plus, question mark, opening and closing round brackets, opening and closing curly brackets, and the pipe symbol. So these 7 characters, they are taken literally. So if you just in BRE, if you just write question mark, it will actually search for a question mark in the file. Whereas if you want the special meaning, which is given here, right? So plus means 1 or more, question mark means 0 or 1. The brackets are used for grouping. So if you want the special meaning in BRE, you have to escape them. But in ERE, they will work. So here also you can see one table to understand how it works. So if you want to use the literal symbol, So you want to actually match the plus symbol in the file. In BRE, you will write just plus, whereas in ERE, you will write \+. So in ERE, it is opposite. You have to escape it to match a literal symbol. Whereas if you want to use the special meaning, right? So if you want to match one or more of the preceding thing, then in ERE, you will have it just plus, whereas in BRE, you have to escape it. So these seven symbols, they have special meaning unescaped in ERE, but if you want the special meaning in BRE, then you have to escape them.
Okay. Means whenever I want to use egrep, and if I want to search plus sign in the word, means in the
Yes.
pattern, that time
Yes.
I have to use \.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
In ERE, if you want the normal meaning, you have to escape it. And in BRE, if you want the special meaning, then you have to escape it.
Yes.
And if it is inside the bracket boundary, then escape. If there is a special character, this 7 character, we still need to escape it, or inside the boundary bracket.
No, so the square bracket inside them, you can directly match them. For example, so let's say I have this string here, 1 + 1 is 2. Right, so here, if I do plus directly, then it will match it. But if I escape it, then it will not match it. It's a broken. So let's say if I do 1, so it will match the ones, not the 1 plus. So, but if you are doing it inside the square bracket, right? Even if you are using egrep, right? So here you can see you have to escape it to match the plus. But if you have it inside square bracket, then this just means the exact character. So then the special meaning is not there. So then you don't need to escape it.
So if it is within the quotes, then we need to escape all the 7 special character. If it is in the boundary bracket, the square bracket, not required. That is
inside the square bracket, it means
just
the symbol. Yeah.
Okay, this kind of convention is there as one big long convention thing for grep is available as a one statement. Is it available anywhere?
You can see the man page of grep, or the man page might not have everything. The info page of grep.
It is like one big convention accommodating all these type of things, right? Is it
you can go through.
Maybe it is available somewhere in the internet. Like that I'm asking.
Yeah, both. This is available inside the VM and also outside. If you go, if you search for info grep, you will get the same thing that you get inside the VM. So info grep, it is a more detailed thing. It's like a proper, like it has chapters, right? So you can see, you can go to the regular expression chapter. You can go through the entire details. So it has details about the BRE, the ERE, the different meanings inside the square brackets. Everything will be there.
This is too exhaustive, right? I'm trying to get one convention.
So you cannot get the best of everything, right? So the exact detailed thing that you want, I don't think it will be present. Yeah, you can go through that. It'll have all the details. Yeah. Yeah. Let me quickly wrap up. We are almost done with the things in regex. Right? So yeah, we also have the number of occurrences exactly.
Before this is starting, you're using a word called globe, globe or something like this.
Yeah.
What is it? What is this?
So we discussed that in the starting, right? So globs or wildcards are when you're using them in bash for file matching in your current directory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes you may want to match only a fixed number of match. So you don't want it to match more, or you don't want it to match less. So we saw that the star and plus do a good job if the lower bound you want to fix, but the upper bound you want to keep it open. But if you want a fixed thing, right? So for example, I have A, I have AA, I have AAA, and I have AAAA. Let's say I have 5 also. So if I only want to match things that have 3 to 4 A's, right? So I can do grep and I can do A present 3, 4 times. Right? So this will only match 3 or 4 A's in the files. So you can see this is printed, and here in the 5 A's, only the first 4 are matched, right? Because I cannot match more than 4, because I've told match either 3 or 4 A's. So the first 2 are not printed at all because they cannot be matched. The third and fourth are matched fully. The fifth one is matched only partially because I have set it to match only at max of 4 occurrences of A.
Sir, here if we also use O, then
Yes. Then only the printed, like the matched part will be printed.
Okay.
So this last thing will not be printed. Right, and this is again, this is part of egrep or ERE. So if you want to use this in BRE, then you have to again escape them. Right? So as we said, the curly bracket and the round bracket, all of these are part of ERE syntax. If you don't escape them in BRE, then it will try to find the string A. So if I have that here, A3, 4, then it will try to find that string. You can see it will only match the literal string if we don't escape it. But if we escape it, then it will treat it as the special syntax, which means 3 to 4 matches of A, whatever is the previous thing before this.
Sir,
Yeah.
if we want to say that we have to get the 3, 4, and 5, then what we have to do?
3, 4, and 5, you can just do 3, 5, right? So if you do 3, 5, it means 3, 4, or 5. So you can see I've got 3, I've got 4, I've got 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So another question can be, what if I want to match only 3 or 5 and not 4? In that case, I think you have to do the alternation. So you can match 3, or you can match A present 5 times. I think this should work. Okay, the pipe also we have to escape. Right. So yeah, this will work. So you can see the if I remove the -O, then see the 3 A's are matched. In the 4 A's, only the first 3 are matched. And again, in the the 5 A's, all of them are matched. Right? So the alternation is the last thing that we have to discuss. So this is basically if you want to match either one regex or another regex. So we can separate 2 regex, and if either of them are matched, then it will match. So I'm matching either this or this. Yeah.
But sir, it should not show me the 4 A's, means 3 with...
No, so see, what I'm saying is match 3 A's. So in 4 A's also, it has matched the first 3 A's. So if you don't want that, then...
we can give word boundary and we can
yes.
Neglect that also.
Yes, you can give word boundary, so it will only match the ones that are fully there. Yes.
So -W is for word boundary, is it?
Yes, in grep you can use -W to fully surround the search in word boundary. Otherwise, in regex in general, we have \B, right? So that also you can use. So you have to put it on the both sides. So that's why I didn't want to do that. So this is also the same. So you can either do this, or this is way simpler. Right. So
anything this word boundary, whatever, or this anything within this quotes, it is only for a word, or it can be for a complete it can be for a set of words.
Yeah, it can be for a set of words. So the word boundary it itself means anything that is not a alphanumeric character. So it will not match it, but it will match the presence of it. So even if you have multiple words in a line, you can match the start of a word or the end of a word by using \P. If you only want to match the start of a word, you can also use \left angle bracket, or you can use \right angle bracket for the end of a word. But we usually just use \B, which means both.
And within quotes, this OR operator only single times we need to use. However, if we are using multiple commands, this and OR, executing one at a time, if it is OR, like yesterday or day before yesterday we discussed this. So in that case, double pipe and double ampersand needs to be used.
That is not part of regex. That is in process management. So if you want to run something or the other,
Multiple
then
commands.
that is not regex. Yes.
There it has to be 2 times we need to use.
Yes. Right, so we're almost done. We just have the groupings left. So, Swati, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Do you want to take over or do you want me to finish this?
It's up to you. If you want to continue, you can, or I'll explain as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think I also have to take my leave. So you can finish up with the grouping. Right? And we can.
Okay, there's a related question there in one of the PYQs. I can explain the grouping with that as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Before leaving, can you give me the co-host permission? I have to record the session as well.
Sure. One second. You should do it from the SC 200. Yeah,
Thanks.
should be fine now. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So I'll continue with the live streaming.
Yeah. That should be fine.
Okay, that's. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah, I'll have to leave now. Yeah, Swati will continue.
It was nice yesterday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I started the recording as well as I'm sharing my screen. So let me know.
The session is going to be for how long?
It will be 11. This is also the regular TA class from 9 to 11.
So it's another couple of hours, is it?
Yeah, because that's basically we wanted to have an extra for your revision, so that's why he was continuing with your extra regex part, and then I wanted to continue with the PYQs obviously as well as the grouping. So only grouping is left. I'll explain the grouping and then we'll just do the PYQs. Is it fine?
Sure. It's a bit long, but okay.
But you'll have the complete revision.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, is my screen visible? Is my terminal visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I had a file already there. I'll explain with this. Let's see. Yeah. So there's a bunch of data lines. Even when I was explaining, we were doing it. So let's say if I want to group a particular pattern, maybe with the IP addresses that would. So I have this IP address file that would help me explain the. Yeah, so we have different types of groupings available here. So there could be the IP addresses could be of different types. So one could be of this type, or we have 2, 3, 1, 1, 1 like this. Okay, so if I want to, let's say, simply take up a regex to group something, so I want to capture patterns of 3, let's say. Here I'm not specifically exactly capturing what you would call as a specific IP address, but just in a general sense, let's say I want to capture this particular IP address. Okay, so I'll explain with the egrep, so we don't have to put extra backslashes here. So let's say 3 digits. So I would be doing something like this to match a single digit, followed by I want specifically 3 digits to be together, and finally a dot. So what I'm trying to capture is this 3 digits followed by one particular dot here. So dot here means explicitly, I don't mean any character here, but a full stop here if I call it something different. Now I close this bracket, but I just don't want to capture it 1 times. In this line, there are 2 more, like 3 more times, but till here, if I consider this pattern, that would be 3 times. Okay, so I just do this, and then I will write the file name. So yeah, I was able to capture this 3 times, even though I've written this pattern exactly 1 time. This is what grouping does. So grouping means here I pasted a pattern here. Okay, this pattern would this is in place capturing anything which is 3 times followed by a dot. Okay, so this entire pattern I grouped as one. So this is what bracket does here. It groups this pattern as a single pattern, and then again I'm matching it 3 times. I did not do it completely, obviously you can see that, but this is just to explain you the idea of grouping. I can do it with a single ones also. So here, instead of telling this to be this 3 times, even make it simpler, I'm just capturing one digit and a full stop. I'm calling this full stop here. So one digit and a full stop here, and that too 3 times. So I'm intending to capture lines as this. Okay. So here you can see, okay, this captures something extra, but if we focus on this end, I'm capturing a number and a digit, and this thing is to be captured 3 times. So grouping means I'm clubbing one or more patterns together as and treating it as a single pattern, and then I can use it further for maybe doing way more searches.
Here, I just have one question.
Yes.
See, for egrep, we normally say escape character, not that is the advantage we say, right?
Yeah.
But, for this dot, we use the slash.
Yeah, because even in egrep, this dot means one or more characters. So even I could do it without this.
Yeah.
Not an issue. But this will then this will mean any character, any one character. But this will specifically means this dot. Okay.
So for egrep also escape.
You have to do it for the general things.
Yeah, escape will be. The convention is escape will be necessary if it is having some other specific meaning. Say in this case, dot is any character. Is it like that?
No. Escape is when you want to exactly match. See, once I remove the slashes, now you see a difference. Many more came up. Okay, in my matching. So the match was the same, but now you can see many more others came up. So here the dot will mean if I do not use an escape character, that would mean I am explicitly taking is this meaning as the literal regex symbol. Okay, so I'm using this as a regex symbol here. So even if I'm using here a star, that means let's assume if there was a star somewhere here, I want to match the exact star. I don't want to use it may be present or may not be present. Okay, if I'm not using an escape character, I mean something that may be present or may not be present. When I'm using a backspace, it means essentially it has to be the star. Got it? Yeah, Purvendra, you have a question?
Yes, basically there was one question where we need to find the this hex code where it was like the like letters were also there, numbers were also there, and it would be like it's like there were 6, right? So 3, 3, 6. It's like total 6 groups were there. So
Yeah.
in that case, how to do it?
Yeah, there's a question like this. So in that case, what is your question?
How to group the letters as well as numbers together?
So there you can do something like this, although this will not match in case of IP addresses. Here, if you want to do it, like it would be A to Z, and you can take, let's say, any number.
Some A to F now, ma'am, because in
the
hexadecimal
hexadecimal, right?
and
So
small A to F.
Yeah, you can include that, but just to give you that idea, you can either use this A to F and the hexadecimal if it is there, and then followed by 0 to 9. That means you are taking either of the combinations in any order, does not mean in one order, and then you can match it like this. Like I have grouped this, so I think the question also has something as grouping. And then match.
Yes, but what it did was it was also including 0 to 9 in the first part. Means it was not using bracket. Like there, from there, it was 0 to 9, A to F, A to F, and then 3 times or whatever number of times.
The hex always starts with hash. So there, in the
Mhm.
question, it was hash mentioned there.
Greater than hash.
Yeah. So that being a different case, now you can either group and match it, or you can do it separately. That's up to you. That it does not mean this is the only regex that you can use to match.
Mhm.
I think this question when we were discussing, either give me the exact question and the year which, like the term which it appeared. I'll explain it with that reference.
Actually, I
But
had a lot of questions. Means I
Ma'am,
was
actually, it's in 25 term
Mhm.
for one term one in 25 2025 only.
okay, then I'll take that question and I'll explain it. You just let me complete the grouping part and one other doubt, and then I'll just so just let me clear one confusion for every one of you. So if I am typing simply regex, this is a file name, and I'm using symbols as plus, star, dot, what else? There could be something like this.
colon
This,
question mark.
yeah, there could be something like this, just to give you an idea. So if I'm using here grep, let's say, for if I'm using grep and if I just want to capture the plus, I don't have to put a backslash. Why? Because grep does not understand the plus in itself. It does not identify plus as one or more characters. But when I'm using egrep, I would want to put a backslash to capture the plus. So here the plus means I want to capture the same plus. Okay, this which is present as the in the file as it is, it does not mean, but if I remove this backslash, I would mean I want to capture one or more characters. Okay, so that is the difference.
Can you please type enter? Can you enter it?
Now if I type enter, I would get a warning just at the start of a expression, and it will not capture anything because nothing is coming in it. Reason being, plus always expects you to put something like let's say
Ma'am,
some numbers or something here.
can you put a dot
A dot
plus, dot plus and then enter?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
it will use all the things.
yeah, what it does is dot means any character here and one or more combination, so it will necessarily capture everything. But if I put this, I would only be capturing the last dot. If you can see, I zoomed my screen. So if you can see, it's capturing only this. Why the difference? Because this is taking its literal meaning, not taking the regex part. So now here it becomes a full stop, let's say. So this is capturing only the full stop. Now this does not mean one or more characters. Okay. So it does not mean any character. But so same thing. So if something you want to capture as it is, that is present in the file, which is also a part of your regex code, you put a slash at the start to avoid its interpretation as a regex thing. If you do not put it, it will try to interpret its meaning as a regex pattern, not as the character itself. I hope my point is now clear to everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
This was what sir was explaining earlier, right?
Yeah, but someone had a doubt regarding this, so I cleared it up. Okay. Yeah. So, okay.
Ma'am, I have a lot of questions. Means I have a lot of questions regarding different PYQs. I have added it in the chat. So if you have time, just go through them.
What I'll do is, we have just completed. Okay, you have July 2024, and the other one we are already discussing. Okay, so you don't have to worry. And I believe if it is from the 2024 year, you also have questions from week 6, your week 6. Previously, that was a part of the syllabus. Now for quiz 1, and that was changed later to, you guys do not have questions from bash scripting. That is your week 6. So I think, and also I will be discussing the July 2024, so all your doubts will be answered. Also the September one, I think I would be discussing. Whatever remains at the end of the session, just remind me, I'll solve those doubts. Okay.
Okay.
Any other? I think the grouping was the last part. So coming back to the grouping thing once again, just one last explanation before we continue with the PYQs. So in grouping, just for the sake of easier explanation, what I can do is, let's say somewhere here it's 3, it's 2, or it's 1. Okay, and I want to capture all of those together, and I want to use an or, like just now Shayan was explaining. So what I could do is take a 0 to 9. This is 1. I can use an or, and here I could mean 0 to 9. So any two characters, that would be bit 2, and 0 to 9, this would be bit 3. I could use IP address. Okay, so wait, let me just make it at the start, otherwise it will just mark everything. Yes, so I had
So,
said I wanted to start with it. Yes.
ma'am, we could have written 0 to 9 and in curly braces 1 to 3, then it should have worked, no?
Yeah, I'm just explaining a different case for the grouping thing. You can use a different regex, that is fine. Like Shan was explaining 1,3. When I joined the session, I saw it, and that's not the point. What the point here is I'm using this grouping bracket. So this is simpler brackets. You can use a or statement here. Let's say if you want to match even 3 different statements that had nothing to do with the numbers. First one part was a number, between there was an hexadecimal, and some, let's say, special characters. So what another use case of this bracket grouping that we generally do is, we can take different sort of expression and in between use this or, and I can match 3 different types of regex or 4 different types of regex as per my own needs, as per whatever I want to match. Indeed, definitely you could have done this 1 2 3, right, without the use of this simple brackets. That's what your point is, right? I would be matching the same thing. That's true, no issues there. But this,
Ma'am, in this case, if we would have used those brackets, then wouldn't it have resulted in same thing? I mean, in the last one, the round brackets, where
yeah,
you removed it.
yeah. So the round brackets are essentially for grouping. Even if I put this, it will return the same thing, but then there's no point if you are using a single character and grouping it like this. Okay, so you could do it without those also. It would simply mean that you are trying to match this. If there were like 2 things, like let's say there was something, as you said, an hexadecimal format, A to F. Let's say I'm taking this, then I would essentially group these 2, because I want these 2 patterns to appear together 1 or 2 or 3 times. Okay, then this grouping is useful. Grouping is done when we have more than one regex sort. Like this is one only, so there's no need for me to use the grouping, like the grouping brackets here, right? So because there's only one thing that I want to match. But if I remove this, let's say if I'm removing this bracket, then it means I'm matching a number at the start followed by A to F. That should be 1 2 3 times. Okay, then the meaning changes. But if I put the grouping bracket, then I would mean I'm trying to capture these 2 combinations, 1 2 or 3 times. Okay, so when you put the grouping brackets, what you're simply doing is you're clubbing more than one pattern together, and you want it to be matched any number of times, let's say 10 number of times, or 3 number of times, or 5 number of times. That's the point here. Okay, so grouping is that. So
And
when
here you mean a set of characters, right?
yeah, a set of characters, and I want to work with them. That's not even limited to using this curly braces. I can simply be doing this. I can simply be using it with a plus, or
Set
simply
of
be,
characters in a word or a sentence.
yeah, set of characters anywhere in the file, but I'm using this set of characters and applying regex to any further regex to all of them together. Okay, so if I put up a question mark, that means this may be either present or not be present, but I've put up a question mark with this. Now, if I remove this bracket, just to give in another example, although this file does not contain any hexadecimal characters, you see the difference. So when I clubbed them, nothing matched. So I want to match them in a combination here when I've put this in a bracket. So when I want to match something in a combination, I use grouping. So here I was using it in a combination and said question mark means they might be present or may not be present. So here I matched simply nothing because all of them was skipped and I just got the file as it is without any matching also.
Ma'am,
But,
when we say, ma'am,
yeah.
Ma'am, in the previous expression where you have used the parenthesis or the bracket, so when you say nothing has matched, shouldn't it match everything?
No, it's if I put a minus O, you will get a no output here. Okay, it's just returning me everything because this particular pattern has not matched anything, but rest of the lines are returned in this case. Even it did not match because it follows this thing. This pattern that I've written between the quotes. So it does not essentially match anything. I say, okay, if I find this pattern, match it. If I don't find it, then also it's all right with me. You can print the lines. That is the meaning of the question mark. So
Ma'am,
zero
but
or
when
more
we say
occurrences.
zero matching, then shouldn't it be entire set of strings?
So here there's a difference between a star and a question mark. Question mark says no matching, so it's what I mean, it might mean like zero matches, no matches at all, or
Ma'am,
maybe
but every line has a zero match in it, no, ma'am. That's what my
yeah.
question
So
is.
yeah, so every line is a zero match, but so that is why the line is getting printed, but in itself these lines do not appear in red. So what my point is, these lines, they are not appearing in red. So so that is why even though it satisfies this condition, that does not mean this is matching.
Okay, ma'am. Pattern is not. Got it.
Yeah. And just coming to the second one, so here I put a question mark after this, so you'd see the difference. This was getting matched in a combination. Now I'm matching the number, so starting with a number, this part is treated separately, and from the question mark, this A to F presence was treated separately. So now you see just the only difference was I added a brackets here. Okay, so you can see the counter example that here I was matching the numbers. Here I'm not matching anything at all. Like nothing is coming in red. That's my point. So
yes, ma'am.
So the question, so the meaning changes. So just to once again iterate my point is, whenever I'm matching, like I'm using something to match in a combination, I put the simple brackets. I use the grouping part. If I do not want them to be matched in a group, if I want them to be matched singularly, then I do not use the grouping part. That's my point. So when
I just want to check this grouping applies to a word, sentence, as well as a paragraph. The entire,
anything, any regex that you are matching.
it will not just matching. It will not try to find the match only. It is not limited only to the sentence. It can go to the entire paragraph also. I can write a grouping.
Yeah, anything. So grouping is, so when you use a grouping, what your intention is, like what I would have, if I want to take the literal interpreted meaning of this, I would have taken, say, I'm using what this would return, what the previous regex would have returned when I was using this. If something was like this, let's say A6, then it would match together. Okay, so it's like it's not limited to any sentence, paragraph, line, or a word. When I want to match something together as a combination, I would use the grouping thing. If I want to match something as separately, let's say I want to match this A separately, then I would not be using this grouping thing. That's the point of it. Got it? Clear to everyone? Yeah.
Ma'am, but that entire group should be part of only one line, no?
part of multiple lines, no issues with the multiple line thing. Like here, let's see, let me go above.
Ma'am, over here, every line has
Yeah,
that pattern, ma'am. That is why.
yeah. Here, see, you can see here I was using this grouping. So this applies to one line at a time. See, regex always will work one line at a time. It will not work together. Okay, this is one entire chunk, I should match it only once. No, this is going per line. Okay,
Okay,
so per line you are matching it, per letter it goes as specific as to per letter what I'm trying to match, per character. See, we are matching it. So when I use a grouping, see, several lines had it. So even in this case you can see several lines had this and several times it would be matched. So it is going per line basis, line by line or character by character. If I go to the basics, it's going everything. See, everything, any regex that you write in grep or thing, it will at its best we try to match it line by line. Let's say if you want to include something like that as a paragraph, and an entire paragraph you're writing a dot star, then also even if I write simply dot star, then also it's doing character by character. Okay, then it's never a case like it will take an entire chunk of file and process the entire chunk together. No, grep will always do it character by character. That's why you have this regex, specific regex matching. If it was doing with a paragraph, then it would not be working that way. It's just as simple as such. I'm using this. Let's say I come here and I do Control plus G. See, I get something like a search here, and let's say I search the word R. Okay, so R here I'm using, although this is an entire paragraph here, it's not like it will see if the first line has an R and it will return R only once. No, it will try to find every line that has an R and it will try to match it. Let's say is also, so let's see here, the paragraph has multiple things. If I remove this, you can say it. So that it's regex works in the exactly the same way. Okay, so
Can you search ticket 2? Ticket space 2.
Okay, why?
Space 2, TO.
Oh, 2. Yeah. So
This is what I'm asking. Is the grouping means, is it only limited only to one sentence, or it can go to a paragraph?
Oh yeah, it can go like this. No issues. It can go like this.
Ma'am, will it, ma'am? I think, as you said, it should be matching line by line.
What? See, there's not a new line character here. What he's asking is, as long as it's like it's a continuation of a paragraph, so there's not a new line character. What? How does the system identify? Systems like this identify. If I write, let's say regex, and let's say I'm continuing to write it, now the line might go beyond this thing and come to the next line, but that does not mean it's like if something inside the screen is going out of the line, that does not mean an essentially a new line character. Let me explain it with this. Here you see a man page. Now here you see it's the paragraph is going to the next line and to the next line. But if it's not like this, like the entire paragraph is treated as a single line. Why? Because a new line character is coming to here. So if I reduce my screen size, this entire description might come in a single line. So as long as it is not detecting any backslash and new line character, grep will continue matching in that line. But let's say if let's say you are matching
definition, it just looks for the new line character and then see and then group whatever is inside the group, it searches for that pattern. From the beginning of the line to the next new line character.
Yeah. So if you are like trying to find something command.a like this, then it will not match. Then this pattern, if you're trying to use, unless you put explicitly a new line character and searching for something, it will not match in a general case. Okay. That's what your question was, I think. right? You were asking me here if it was matching ticket 2. Let's say if the ticket 2 was not separated by a new line character, then it will match this ticket 2 together. But if it was separated by a new line character, then it will not match with the grouping thing. Then it will again search for the pattern starting with the next new line character. Unless you are in your regex itself, you are writing something such as like this, / new line, right? If you're writing something like this. I hope my point is clear. No?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, any doubts regarding grouping or anything related to grep, you can ask me, then we'll move on to the PYQs. None? You can ask.
We can move on to the PYQ.
Yeah. So when I'm doing the PYQs, I guess there's one more question. I'll explain then the grouping in detail. Okay. So I'll just share the question paper link in case any of you is doing together with me. Okay. I'll pin this up in case you need. So right now I'm discussing this question paper. Let's just pause this. Just, you don't have to raise your hands, just ask me if you're stuck somewhere. Okay. So which way do you feel preferable? You want to solve it yourself and then, or I'll start explaining you?
Ma'am, you please give us 2 minutes at least.
Okay.
And once that is done, strictly by time, ma'am, strictly by clock, not more
Okay.
than 2 minutes.
Okay, so I don't think so this question will require even more than 2 minutes. So I hope you can access this link. Every one of you can. I hope you can. So you can just go through here and start doing the question number 2. So it's 9:32. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Think about this question. So you have to decide what would be the output of the above script. When so the commands are given here. Just go through it and tell me what your answer is. Then I'll start explaining.
Ma'am, or better you give us 10 minutes so that we can solve 5 questions. And then after 10 minutes, we'll discuss all the 5 ones.
Okay, anything that's fine. Actually, these questions are more like theory questions. So at least the first part, it's completely theory based questions. So okay, fine with me. Take 10 minutes, all of you. So at 43, I'll start explaining. So it's 9:33, 9:43. I'll start explaining this. So do it from question 2 till what? Till question 8, it's directly theory. You can do it directly. Do it from 2 till 8, and then at 9:43, I'll start explaining. Those who have just joined, please open this question paper that's pinned in the comments and just go through the questions from 2 to 8. Then at 9 start explaining those. Yes, Krishna, we would be doing the PYQs only because this is the revision week. The session started at 8, so previously Shan was discussing the regex.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Mine one is only related to the other PYQs.
Uh, yeah, I'll explain the ninth one.
For most of the questions that I solved, the hard part was basically sometimes figuring out the regex pattern, because in some of them the manual was given to us, but the later part, the pipe part manual was not given. So in that part, it was little hard to figure it out.
Okay, I'll explain a strategy when I'm discussing one of the regex questions. I'll explain a strategy how you can identify the correct option, even if you're not sure with the regex. Okay, just let's wait for 5 minutes and let everyone go through it, and then okay, once most of you done, please let me know. I'll just start explaining. One more important thing to note is regex do not go across multiple lines unless you have explicitly given new line characters to match it. Okay, so please ensure that you are clear with this. Any regex, even if you are using the most simple regex, it does not go across multi lines directly unless you are explicitly give it those permissions. Purvendu, for January term or the February questions that you have asked, question 7 in February 2024 paper, that question 7 is not related to you. Right now you have not studied this one, so this is a week 6 content right now. So you can skip this right now. Once you do week 6, come back to this. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think he did not listen to me. Anyways, it's fine. I'll explain it later. Is everyone done? Can I continue explaining those?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because I think you guys already. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the first question. So, what would likely be the answer? Anyone? Can you tell me? So, will it be able to remove the subdirectory or not?
Yes, ma'am.
C. Third one.
Option C.
Yeah, so it will definitely be able to remove the subdirectory. So when you have rmdir, it will only remove an empty directory. So if you have any file inside it, then you have to do rm minus r so, to remove that directory. Okay, so please ensure that if I'm making, let's say, a directory, let's say dir1, and if I make another one slash, let's say, 2, now if I try to remove it dir1, it will say fail to remove the directory because the directory was not empty. So in that case I would be using rm minus r to remove the directory. Okay. So when it is an empty directory, rmdir works fine. Okay. I don't think so anyone has this doubt in this question. It's pretty straightforward. Moving on to the next one. Is the SSH keygen permission denied public key? Okay, this is something you all might have experienced till now if you have used the VM. So you encounter a permission denied public key error when trying to SSH into a remote VM. So what SSH keygen command would you use to ensure your SSH key has the correct permission? So this is something that is even written when you register up for the SSH keygen, that you have to give it that 600 permission. What does a 600 mean? Can someone tell me? It's read and write.
Read and write for the user.
Yeah, so read and write, so that permission must be given to the this wherever you have this id RSA key, so that the system can read and understand. Okay, so that would be it. This is if you're the first option is simply if you're trying to create an RSA key. You can otherwise create one more sort of a key. So if you want to specifically create a key, this, then you use this. Okay, then otherwise you're trying to read from a file, and this is you are resetting this remote VM permission, so that is a different one. So see, you can see the 600 permission is the correct one. So what does minus r do? Removes all the keys belonging to the specific host name. So let's say if due to some reason I'm getting a permission denied public key in my system, I want to log into the SE2001. So I would want to do is SSH keygen minus r and SE2001 at iitmac.in, whatever is the remote VM name. So whatever the VM name is, I would use this. I cannot execute on my system right now because I have other things, so it would mess up. But you understand that that is to you are wanting to remove all the keys belonging to some host name, and sometimes this error occurs, so then you use minus r. If it says you want to read it from a particular file, as I said, now even you have been given minus t, so it types like different types of key that you can create. One of the, you can create all these different types of keys. Please go through, read it after your quiz. I would say the different types of keys and the different types of protections they offer. From the RSA, this ed keys are preferred these days, so please go through it
Ma'am, I
once.
didn't get the purpose of this question. I mean, the entire paragraph has been given. Now, what are we supposed to do? I mean, read the entire paragraph. and then search for the answers, or we should all should already know the answers?
What ideally I would do, I'm just telling from my personal experiences, I would read the question first, not read the hint right now. Okay, if it is a very long hint, don't read it. You see, I've gotten a permission denied, and which SSH keygen would you use? Okay, I've read this. If I directly know the answers, okay, I would not read this. Okay, but let's say, so what the basic question was asking is, you have been given a permission denied public key, and what should you do to fix it in respect to the giving correct permissions to the SSH key. So the correct permissions you immediately get, you have to use the chmod. Okay, there's no need of reading the whatever it
But
was
the
there about.
question is telling which SSH keygen command, right? Can we
No.
read the question?
So yeah, with SSH keygen, even though it is given, would you ensure to have the correct permissions? But typically,
No, for giving permission, it's not it's chmod, right?
yeah. So technically, I think there's a typo here in this question. Okay, so this
Because
is
that
not.
deviates, because most of the answers are with reading the question. People will
Yeah.
be sorting because nobody is going to read through this paragraph.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah.
if it is typo, then it's fine. But if it is correct question, assuming it is correct, then people will be looking for the other
SSH
three
keygen.
options.
Yeah, then they would be looking at the other three options. But if you take it, which command would you use and use to ensure that the SSH key has the correct permissions? Then you simply know you are talking about this one, right? Even
Provided which chmod command.
yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
question. Then we can. Otherwise, this is confusing.
Yeah, so simply for now you can read it as, which command would you use? Do not take this as
That is a better question. Which command is a better question?
Yeah, so which command would you use? So here you simply know, when you have signed up for the key, there also they have written that you have to give this 600 permission, that is the read and the write permission to this folder. So by default, if you have used a Windows like mine, then it's already given these permissions. You do not have to do it specifically on a Windows machine. But yeah, for other machines might have to do it, depends upon the type of operating system you have.
Ma'am, one doubt, ma'am. In which week we have been, taught about SSH? Ma'am, I don't remember.
That would be week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now let's say, assuming we have some other options, and coming back, how would I do it? So if I directly know the answer, I would mark that. If I don't know the direct answer, let's say I do not remember what does -r do, then I might look forward for the manual, take the and answer it from the best of my understanding. So let's say the question asks, like, if I wanted to remove all the keys, then I would have to go through this, like I have to remove it, but for a particular host name, then I would have marked this as option. Even with file or TA, I have to see it. Okay, so then if you are unfamiliar with the options, then go through the manual. Otherwise, you do not have a lot of experience with the manual as of now, so I would suggest kindly see if you can remember it from the memory at the time of the quiz. Yeah.
The question says to give permissions, right? So for permissions, in general, we use chmod, and also the number is there, and it was matching. So I went with that only. And also this SSH ID RSA was there in the documentation.
Yeah. So, someone was asking me how would I do it? Should I read the entire manual or not? So I'm giving this not as a TA, but I'm giving this suggestion to you as a student. Okay, when I did my system commands, what logic did I use? I explained you that. Okay, coming to the question 4, what would be the output of the following command? So I think this is pretty simple.
D1.
D or A?
A.
Yeah,
because B will be paired with 1 and 2.
yes. Yeah.
But what about the extra brackets?
Where is extra bracket?
Those in the periphery, the starting and ending.
So that is fine. Na? That is for your using A would be there. So otherwise, these are also separately taken. A is taken, B1 and B2 and C. This will not throw an error.
This is kind of blob, no? Not
Brace expansion.
Brace expansion.
This is brace expansion.
Nested brace expansion too.
Yeah. To be precise, nested. So A would be taken as it is because on the other side I'm not trying to match with something else. B would be taken with B1, B2 and then C. So this will not get this will not, this curly braces will not appear in the output. Okay.
If we give it, if it is with space, A comma space, then if it is with space, it is coming with the bracket.
With space, what do you mean?
Echo,
it's like this.
Yeah, comma. After comma, give a space.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, exactly. Then again, comma. Yes.
Yeah. So a space would essentially change this.
Now let us understand this. What is the difference between this and this? Just
okay. If you want to,
I'm not getting it. Okay, we studied all this, but I just want to understand what is the difference.
So the difference is here. See, how does a brace expansion work? If I would say 1, 2, 10. Let's say I'm matching something like this. I get this. Okay, but if I put a space, I will not get. So brace expansion will only work when you do not have a spaces in between. Okay, then it will take what
all Linux
gadgets all Linux commands does this. So when you do not have a spaces between them, then it will take all as separately. But if you have a spaces, then it says like you are trying to print the same thing. That's the difference.
But the printing comes with a space. A space B1 space B2.
Yeah. That would be taken exactly as it is. Yes, Ravi.
My question is related to the previous problem.
Okay.
The previous problem is chmod 600. When you say it's only the user we are giving permission for read and write, correct?
Yes, because only the user needs this permission to read the key. The system needs the permission. You are not giving the
admin.
Yeah, the user itself. Yeah, the admin or user, whatever you call it, that needs the permission to read it when I'm connecting. Others do not need this permission.
Okay, that is what I'm trying to determine. Like, if fortunately in this one there is only one chmod. If one other option of chmod was given and it is 700, then what do we actually determine is what I was just wondering.
So then both would be correct, because even if you give 700, that's no issues. Yeah, then also this will not give you the permission denied. Okay.
But if you have 770, then obviously it's a problem and it will be around.
They denied, yes.
Why is 770 a problem?
Because you are also giving permission to the group users, which you don't want, right? You only want that admin should be able to handle that.
Yeah, the admin should be able
This number actually represents the RWS.
That part I understand. What I'm trying to understand here is, how is this related to the keygen? When you say SSH, I'm trying to connect to another machine, correct? Is that what it is?
Yes.
So when I'm connecting to another machine, how does it matter if I give permission of that? Okay, somebody should know that command to actually use that SSH, correct?
Yes. Basically, you are giving permission to the user to even provide them that this ID RSA, right? So when you do SSH, there are two files in it, right? A public key and a private key,
Okay.
So you need permissions, and that's what the question even asks, right? Because you're generating this, but if you're sharing that, then if you're sharing even the like public key, then
Can you
how they
speak
will
up a
get
little bit, please? I'm having trouble hearing you clearly.
So once you generate that key, right? Ma'am, can you just scroll a little bit up in the question?
Yeah,
Question
sure.
says that if you want to give a specific permission, right? Here it says permission denied public key, right? So
Correct.
here you are actually not giving the permission, it's like sharing it to anyone. Okay, you
Right.
are actually going to use it for yourself only, but you don't
Okay.
have the permission. So how you
Right.
will give the permission? That's what question is asking, and that's what man page is all about. It's like what all commands you can use with SSH keychain. So don't think it's a sharing for sharing.
Okay.
And anyways, private keys are generally not shared because that's why they are named as private key. Because if someone gets a hold of your private key, they can get into your machine very well.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
same as hacking.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay,
Thank you.
now your answer is cleared. Your doubt is cleared.
Yeah. Right. Right. Thanks.
Okay.
And will we be getting all this man help and everything in the Q1? Because
Yes. So whichever question it is required, you will get it.
But there is one catch. Suppose if you are piping it, right? Sometimes they will not give the arguments for the pipe. That you need to already know that.
See,
Then
part of the command you should know it by yourself. But the other parts, if you say an unfamiliar option, then they will give you like -r is given, that might not be familiar with all of you. So then in that case,
remove.
they will be given.
Swati, the reason why I was asking is Shaktivel was mentioning it may not be given in this quiz. The man help.
No, it will be. Okay. It will be. But not for all questions. Like this question does not have it. So it's not.
Yeah, this is
not
clear. This is
important
clear.
for others. Yeah. I hope now your doubt is cleared.
Yeah.
In quiz one also.
You will get the man page help wherever. Like it would be given like a screenshot. Like this.
No, we asking for quiz one, not for
Yeah.
OPP.
He's asking for quiz one.
Quiz one.
Okay. Thank you.
On OPP, you can yourself go to the man page. You can use man. Okay. I hope the question 4 is clear. Let's quickly move to question 5. So, yeah, who can answer me this one? There's nothing to explain in this.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I think most of you are comfortable with VI or the Emacs. I find less.
Emacs I don't understand. It's like what the command does. I don't even understand that.
So Emacs, what you do, you have to say which of the following will delete the 7th line and save and exit in a VI editor or Emacs editor. So wherever there's a question with a VI or an Emacs, you will get options for both. So knowing one is fine, completely fine. Okay. Coming back, so generally you do VI or Emacs, whichever you are opening with. Then this will give you have to go to the 7th line. So you cannot go in this option, the second option. You can see it's given without this colon. You cannot do this. So you have to use the colon to reach the 7th line. DD will delete the line, and then WQ you exit it. Okay, the same sequence is followed for this. I don't know how many of you are comfortable with the Emacs. This is again the same set of commands. This is equivalent MG. Using this is equivalent to using the colon, then to the 7th line. Then you use CK to delete the line, then to save, and exit has a different option. So I just
I
show
have
it.
one question.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in Vim we have different editor modes, right? So we can have this question like after some time it is doing something, and after some time it is switching to different mode, and after that it is doing something other than that, and then saving it back. So that type of thing can also be there, right?
It can be, but I'm not, personally I've not seen a question like this. Okay, so like this, I go to the VI. Now what I do is I'm in the escape mode. Now I type colon. You can see there at the end. I do type 7 and press enter. See, I come to the 7th line. Now if I do DD, I will end up deleting the line. Okay.
Oh, ma'am,
And
but in the question it's not mentioned that enter has been pressed.
enter has been pressed. This is a basic thing. That would not be given, obviously.
You are moving to another command, right? So
You are by default pressing an enter. Obviously, you have to press the enter. You cannot do it without the enter thing.
That way, if you look at it, you will have to press escape also before you press DD, right? I mean,
Yes. No, only direct
That's
enter
what-
can work.
direct
Just
enter works.
Yes.
I used to always escape and sort of then press
No,
DD.
ma'am, I've just done right.
Even
See, I'm doing it here. So if I press enter, you will know. Let me turn on my virtual keyboard. So if I press enter, you will know. Okay, that is fine for you. So let's say if I am just trying to press enter, just wait a second. Let me make it smaller so that you guys can see it. Otherwise, yeah. So if I press enter, you can see I'm pressing enter. So this will get highlighted here. Okay. If I press caps lock, see caps is enabled here. So I'm not pressing anything. Let me go to the 4th line. I'm sorry, I'm not here. Yeah. If I go to the 4th line or to the 8th line, any line that I wish to move on to, and then what I want to do is I've used escape. Now I have pressed shift. You can see I've pressed a colon. Now let's say I want to go to the 4th line. Now I press enter. Okay, so then I press enter. Now I don't have to press the escape mode again. I can just do DD. I would be able to delete it. Here I don't have to press even enter.
okay, so basically after 4, you basically pressed enter. So you were already in escape mode, basically, right? So
Yeah.
So okay. I suppose this holds true for Yank also.
Yeah, for others also. Okay, so I think this question has nothing for me to explain.
Ma'am, the VI part has been done before also. That's why we at least I remember that. But in Emacs terms,
Emacs is fine. If you know anyone of the editor, they will be grouped together. So you will know if VI is correct. Definitely Emacs one will also be correct. You don't have to bother about the Emacs thing.
Okay.
I did not explain because many of you haven't done Emacs. So even if I think because Emacs has a sort of a confusing pattern for newcomers. So VI is the most common one that you guys use. Okay. You're trying to SSH into a remote VM and you receive the following error. Which of the options are likely the cause? The first one, I think many of you have done it without, you have not shared the key and you have done it. Yeah?
Yes.
One question is like why that option is right.
Which one?
The SSH key is not added. Basically, third option, not the second. First.
Oh,
option.
this?
Hmm.
So this
What
is
it means by two open.
what
That-
you just explained right now.
Okay.
The same thing. To open means I've given it others and groups also the same permission.
Okay. Yeah, those three are right.
Yeah. So that is the same. That is the thing. So here also what it means is either you have not done the process. Then also just to explain with the SC 2001 VM. So I have not added the key. So when you generally log into the VM, you have to go to the portal, share your key. If you have not done that, obviously you will get the permission denied error. Okay. Now in the IITM we do it via portal. There are other ways also you can connect to a remote VM. There are many different ways to do it. So you have not added that host. That is the simple thing. If your files have read, write, executable permissions for others and groups, then also the VM won't connect, because then others also have the permission, and generally VMs restrict themselves, and it's the best thing. The VMs restrict them to the admin/the user itself. Okay, and the username is incorrect. Obviously, if I type the wrong thing, then how will it connect? Okay, when you get the remote
SSH agent.
sorry,
SSH agent, can you explain?
Yeah. So if you have given the wrong username, now if the VM server is down, then you will get not the permission denied, but you would rather get as the connection refused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Ma'am, can you explain SSH agent? What does it mean by SSH agent?
The client.
the
Okay,
client
the
you have
client.
not added. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is also, I think you have not seen
Easy.
it. So this is also very easy. So sometimes even the VM, what happens is they also change their IP address or something. So then also you get this host identification has changed. So which of the options is correct in this one?
A and B.
This one, the remote VM host key has changed. Obviously, if the host key has changed, then it will give you that someone on the VM side has changed it and you are getting this. Okay, the IP address has changed. So these two. So IP address, what? Yeah.
Ma'am, what about the third one? Ma'am, even in case it is corrupted, shouldn't it be the same?
No. Then you will get permission denied or unable to access that known host file, something other errors. Okay, if it has corrupted. So see, this is coming from the host side, something has changed, not something that has changed from your side. Your side, nothing has changed. Your side, everything remains as it is, but suddenly you're trying to log into, let's say, 2001. Sorry. But it says the remote host identification has changed. So something has changed from the VM sides, not from your side. Okay.
Ma'am, basically what I'm trying to say is when the key on my side has been corrupted and I'm sending it to the server, won't it recognize that somebody is doing something nasty? I just guessed it.
No. So if your known host file is corrupted and it's not matching with the other one, let's say you are calling your friend's phone and your side someone changed the number, you will be getting wrong number. Okay, the person who's picking up on the other side will say this is not your friend's number, but this is something different. This is you are calling to the same number, but someone else has picked up. So the things have changed from your friend side, not from your side. Your side, you have the same number, you are contacting the same person, you have the same 10-digit number, but your friend has changed it, then you get this error. Okay, so if your known host file has corrupted, you will get the permission denied, or it does not identify this host, something like this.
Okay, ma'am. I thought it was basically saying that the key has got corrupted, but actually it's the host list got corrupted.
Yes.
Okay.
How to simulate and then experience these two errors?
How to simulate? You cannot simulate this, but
No, this one, if you experience, then people can remember. Okay.
I remember.
Otherwise, this one maybe for exam people can answer the question, but we will forget.
You have to
Unless
remember
we experience this,
yeah.
we will forget. Because when I connect, I was able to connect to VM. These kind of errors I never faced.
Obviously, if you are not able to connect, the discourse will be spammed up with posts. We are not able to connect. So
maybe you can create one VM for us to just get this
it's
kind
not
of.
easy to pull up that backend configurations right now.
No, just I'm requesting. Is it possible? One so that we all have this kind of face this kind of issue as a simulation, and then you can kill the VM later.
What I would suggest is, see, one thing, this one I think you would remember. Permission denied public is something you will remember on your own side. Just a nasty thing, you have to remember it's done from not your side. So when you get this lot of ads, remember it, you can connect it directly. So if you remember it from lot of ads, you are getting a beautiful design, box-like design, something which is capturing your attention.
What I'm trying to say. Unless you encounter this problem, then it is very difficult to remember this kind of concepts for a long period of time.
Yeah, just give me a second.
No, I think C. Hello, I'm audible? Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, whole SSH thing is about identification. So SSH is generating the key and they're throwing the identification error. So it has to do with key. With that logic, I think we can answer. But I
But
agree with your point.
until you have experienced it on your own, how would you
Continuously,
know?
you have to work on it and then make this kind of
There is a
Otherwise, it's
solution to
like
it.
you have just remembered things.
You have to remember this. Okay. Have to remember this. I cannot.
Ma'am, but the
Otherwise,
problem is every time the scenario may keep on changing, ma'am. So how would we come to know in which scenario what will happen? What kind of
No.
message has been displayed?
So no, you will either get either of the two messages. Okay, one thing you are getting is permission denied publicly. You will basically get only two scenarios. Okay, see, even in this above question, you got permission denied publicly. There, the same thing, the permission was not the correct one. Okay, so only these three. If you remember, see, if you remember question number 6 and question number 7, then I think most you will be able to answer any questions related to the SSH thing. So SSH thing is either these three things happening and you get a permission denied, or it's this thing, you are getting an identification change. So if you are getting something as a warning, remember it's from the VM side, not from your side, and you are giving marking all the options that is happening from their side. See, the remote VM's key changed, the remote VM's IP address changed. Okay, so those things happened there. And if you are getting permission denied publicly, then it's either, most of the scenarios, it's your thing that you have made a mistake. So it's that you have either not added it, you have given two open file permissions, or the username you have mistyped it. As simple as that. You have mistyped the VM's address or your username, whatever. Let's say if I try to enter here with the SSH keygen and I make a mistake, so I would definitely get a permission denied. This is my roll number. Now I just remove one, and I would get definitely a permission denied publicly, right? Unless I do not type my correct number, I will not get access to the VM.
Yeah, same like that. This add thing is it possible to simulate?
Sorry.
The design. The seventh question.
The seventh question design you cannot see because I think both the VMs are up and running.
You just get the host name wrong, no?
Yeah. The host, no. If I get the host name wrong, then I would also get the permission denied. So you could not resolve host name,
Basically, this is
name or
client
service
side
is not.
error, no?
Yeah, this is client side error. I cannot change it. See here, if when I remove this two, I get could not resolve host name or service not known. So this is a different kind of error when I made a mistake in this part, in the VM's part. Okay, so this name and service not known, reason being this is not in host name added. I do not have a similar host name, so that's why. This is from the client side. I cannot do anything.
One option, if somebody
one option, I can show it to you if you want. See, if you want to see what does it look like, I can show it to you. So,
what I was trying to say, ma'am, if people, let's say, have another machine also with them, they can try.
No. This is something from the client side. They cannot do it from the machine. This is not possible.
No, ma'am. When we do SCP, and let's say we have another user on another laptop, and we are doing SCP or something, and let's say I intentionally remove my known host file, but still try to copy files from my computer to some other user at some other IP address on another Linux machine, then probably these chances of getting this is there.
So then you have to do a lot more things. If you can do it, you feel free to try it, but you will get something like this. Okay, known host verification has changed, something like this, you will get it. Okay, you can see this message here. Someone was trying to do, so I was explaining, you might get errors like this. So for the VM access, there was a document. Okay, So you get something like this, but you have to remember it. I cannot, this is happening from the host side, I cannot change it. Okay, so from my side I cannot help you get this error. Okay, coming to this, which command will display the inode number of the file my file? So
1 and 3.
yeah, this will be the this inode number directly displayed and stat my file. Okay, so stat will also give you any file details. Let's close this. So I give stat IP address, I get this inode number here. Okay. Yeah, going back
These
to
two are the only thing will give the inode number, or is there any other
no.
commands
This
available?
file will tell you the file type. This will give you the long listing. Okay.
Ma'am, ls minus a will also work over there.
This is not there in the options.
Yeah, ma'am, it's not there.
Okay, which of the following will create projects with a subdirectory 2024 and then create a symbolic ring named current pointing to 2024. So first of all, you have to create a directory projects. Within the projects, you have a subdirectory 2024, and then you create a symbolic ring named current, which is pointing to the file 2024, and you have to verify the link. So there's a list of commands here. I don't. So for this, let's say I will not read it simply because I know what command to run and what command to execute. Now coming to this, first of all, I have to create projects and 2024. So one way I could do it is using P. What does P do? Minus P do? If you want to see it from the options, here is it given. Technically no. Yeah, parents. So parents, if no error if existing, make parent directories as needed. So if this project is already present, it will not give you an error, but if it is not present also, it will create and work. So this part is fine. I want to create a projects and I want to create a 2024 subdirectory. ls minus s, so I'm looking one options at a time. So ls minus s, so I want inside the projects 2024, I want to have current as the name. So the location is given. First is given where I want to create it. So projects 2024. Here I want to create. I want to point to this place, and it's projects under current. So what do you mean is first of all, ls minus s, you are creating a soft thing. So what I want to create. Soft link, I want to create it to the directory 2024. So under projects directory 2024, the location I'm giving, and where I want to place the soft link, I want to place it under the current directory that is given here. So what do I want to, where I want to place this is under the projects, and its name should be current. Okay, so this option is correct. ls minus s project is fine. Now suppose you encounter these three options. I have verified it personally that what I am doing is correct, but let's say you come across these three options and you are not sure which one will create it. First, remember with the soft links or the hard links, whatever you're creating, first you have to give the location of whatever directory or file you want to create a soft link to, and where you want to place a soft link with its name. Okay, so definitely this is correct, but these two are there. So what you see is, what is the difference between this? So the only difference is the middle line. So in the middle line, what you would do is, see, first of all, this option is incorrect because I cannot directly specify 2024 without referring to the project. So definitely this option is ruled out. The second one, this part is correct, but I cannot simply name it current. I have to give the location. So this option is definitely correct. Okay.
The first part is the target.
First part is target followed by the location.
Okay.
And the file name. So I have to name my file something, right? So under the projects, I have named it current. So that is what is asked in the question. Okay, and the second one is also correct because the rest of the things is same. Only it's making the projects file separately, projects directory separately. Okay, so I think these two are the correct options. Let's move bit fast. I hope there's no doubt in question 9. Also, if you're confused, what does the ln do? You can check it here. So make links, and then you have to give the target.
That what made me confused here. Means like, what do you mean by target and what do you mean by directory?
Target and sorry, you mean the target and the link name or the directory, right? What does it mean is target means the location of which you want to make the soft link or the hard link. Okay, that is a target. Target means the position.
And why do we start from 2024 rather than having current?
So you are not supposed to move. That is given in the question itself, that you have to create a, so you are, see here they are not moving there. If they moved there, so if I cd'd into 2024, then I would have given ls minus s 2024, then I would have given it. So I'm outside, I'm not inside the projects directory. So I have to give the location. I have to give the full location. Otherwise, in my home directory, how will I know? How will the ln know which 2024 you are trying? So inside the projects, you have to give the full location. At least the relative path must be given correct. If you are not giving the full path, got it? And the destination or directory, the link name, whatever you are asking, is the question itself says, you see. And then create a symbolic link named current pointing to 2024, but I have to create it where? Inside the projects directory. So projects directory / current. So that
okay, we are currently in projects directory. We created a
above projects
subdirectory.
We are above projects directory. Okay. We are above the project directory. So let's say,
my question is, where it says that we have to be in that particular directory, we can't move. Like,
so if I'm say I'm giving you mkdir and let's say -p projects. Okay, I'm in my home directory, although I already have a project directory. Okay, so if I give it like this, then, and if I execute this command, okay, let me just not run this. Let's say I want to create this. Okay, now have I moved inside the PR directory? No. Did I do a CD into PR? No. That means I'm in my home directory. I've never changed my location. Unless explicitly you are given you do CD into PR, you are at your home directory position. Remember this.
Can we go to the question? Yeah. Okay. Can you just move a little up to see what is the help given for mkdir? Yeah, with P they have given. And what about we are giving directory as well as the second directory, right?
We are
that
giving.
Help will not be provided. The second option, projects /2024.
Yeah. So this you already know. This what is this? Yeah. This you are aware of. So why would they give you this?
Okay.
So if you are something aware of, don't expect that to be present.
Thank you.
And in general, that is also given. Though see mkdir and make directories, and you have the option in the directory. So see, this is a man page.
If it is explicitly given, it will be very helpful.
No, this would be the man page. Okay. Then that is as good as helping you. Then there's no point of having a.
No, the first option is clear because P is given. People can figure out.
So you do it directly. You know this. You do it directly.
You need to remember the second option. This is by practice only. Okay.
Yeah.
No. See, if you know normal mkdir, why do you need to remember second option?
No. He says the general working. You need to remember. That is it.
To create a folder, like multiple folder, like folder inside a folder.
Just so that's we are like all the commands generally, whatever list we provide, they act on all the list that is in front of the command. Na? So mkdir dir1, dir2, dir3, you keep giving, it will keep creating.
No, that is in the current folder, right? But folder inside folder.
Yes, you give the paths. That's what they have done here. In the second argument is projects. In
No,
projects, create
that
2020.
that is on a for loop for the same pattern, right? Here the pattern changes. One is project, it is in the current folder. Project slash 2024 is inside the project. But normally we give this parenthesis with a standard pattern
No,
in the
no,
current
you
folder.
are confusing
No,
the
you're
pattern. You are confusing. Let me. You are confusing the grep and you are confusing the mkdir. I'm just giving the second location. This is the location path, not that what you call is as the
We make
basic
multiple
pattern.
directories in the current folder, right? With say for example, dir parenthesis 1.3.
No, no, no. You are confusing something with the something else. Let's say
brace expansion, ma'am.
Yes.
He's confusing brace expansion with.
confusing the brace
Yeah.
extension. See, if I'm using this and so you can tell me how to see.
Let us use mkdir, right? This is mkdir command. Let us use
Yeah.
mkdir.
So you are confusing both of it. Let's say I'm creating inside the SC folder. I'm creating, let's say, SC slash. I don't know if there is data.
Okay.
Yeah. So slash dir. So I'm giving the
Yes, this is
location.
possible. Yes.
Yes.
But this is only one, right? I don't create SC and this.
So you do it together. So these are your like combining two commands together. That is it. So I can do it this one and I can do this one separately and then I can execute the next one separately. You do it like this and then you can do this like dir1. Okay. You can do this I have done this two separately. I can do this together but put a space in between. That's it. You don't have to remember this. This is space. That's it. There's no looping, no brace expansion, nothing here. As simple as that. Okay. Can we move to the next command? Okay. Which of the following commands will show process ID and run in the background? So process ID of the background command is done by $! So if I were to run something, let's say I'm running sleep 30 and I do echo $! Okay. What did I do? 30, yes, that is okay. I did not give in and at the back. Yeah. So this is to send something at the background and echo $! So 728 is the process ID. If I run PS, I can see 728 is a process ID that is printed. So see here, if I missed an and, if I did not send it to the background, this will not work. So this echo $! Shows the process ID of the background process. Okay. This is something you must remember it. Yeah. So the process ID, right? It says this, which of the commands will show the process ID and run in the background. So for running any command in the background, you use and after the command. So if I run sleep 30, even without this will be running in the background. Okay, sleep 300 or whatever. Background means I'll have this prompt available. If I do not use this, I would have to keep waiting for 308 seconds, which I don't want to. Okay, but if I send it to the background, even if I'm running for 1000 seconds, this I will have the prompt available for me. I can continue running any command that I wish to. Okay, so this would send into the background, and if I want to see the process ID, I would do simply this. Then I will be able to see that the current process that I'm running is 737. This is, you have to remember.
No, if there is a why fourth is not correct.
Because it will not give the process ID. See, in this case, when I was running it,
it is giving 737, right?
This works with a sleep command, not with other commands. If I run this with, let's say, ls and let's say ls and at the background, so you will not, actually this is not a process ID per se, but if I'm running, let's say, the PS process or something, if I'm running a child bash shell and I'm running it at the background, then what happens is, as you can see, this will print the process ID.
Coming.
But explicitly they will have.
Please do not give the echo. Just give a command and.
Where did I give echo?
Yeah. No. Echo is also there. Can you just,
Oh.
yeah, please write only any command, ls ampersand or PA, whatever it's, whatever. It's giving, right?
Yeah, although this will be giving, but
No,
they
no,
will asking the process ID to be printed separately. So that is why this first command is correct.
where is printed separately?
Also, which will show its process ID and run in the background. So here it will give. This will be giving. Although if you were to say that this process ID is printing separately, this is coming as
Leave, okay,
7446.
Ma'am,
just
one second. One second, ma'am. I
Yeah.
think I'll just take 15 seconds to answer his question. Let's say you do sleep 1000, okay, and 1000 seconds it is sleeping, and you do and you do other tasks in the terminal. Now that 740 which was printed has gone back long back in the screen. Now you want to know still what are the things running in the background. Then this is the option, no, echo dollar and bank symbol. So right now you are also correct because you are seeing it immediately after your command. But
that's
after
the only,
detaching,
that's the only thing, yeah.
correct. But
No,
after
PS
sleep,
also
you
it's
have done a
coming.
lot of
PS
work.
also it's coming. Sleep, leave the sleep part. Okay. LS also it's coming.
Yeah.
No,
For
correct.
any.
For
This
LS,
is
after LS, you have done, let's say, 10 other commands. Let's say after LS, you have done, the LS listing is very long and you have moved to 2-3 pages down the line in the terminal. But your something else was running. Let's say some longer task was running. Okay. You want to presently know that thing. So echo is the command. Na? Right now, your screen is short. You are immediately seeing it.
See, here I ran a few commands in between. Now you can see that the command is coming. So that is what it is.
Ma'am, what about option 3? Is it also looks correct?
Option 3, this will not work because this is one command exclamation. This will fail actually. So if I run this, where was one of the commands? Okay, anyway, I'm typing like this. Let's say C30 and there's an AND here, and if I run it like this will give a syntax error because they are supposed to be as
Okay.
command. Okay, so this
Okay,
will
ma'am.
not. Okay, this is
But in the question, it's given space over there.
no, space is fine. Exclamation mark. Or you can do it with space or without space. That is fine. There you will get the same thing. So if I remove it, it works. Okay. You have a sample .txt and it's a slash checksum stored is in a file called sample shf1. You want to ensure that this checksum matches but only prints if it fails. So if it is matching, you are printing nothing, but if it is failing, it's printing something. So which of it is correct? So first of all, let's see the command pattern. Let's say I've never run this. I get SHA1 sum option and a file. Okay. Now option. So first of all, I should have an option. So I will rule out all the options which do not provide an option at the start. So only the first and the third can be correct. The second and the fourth I can immediately discard the point I see the C is after this. Because obviously after every command you have the flags. So these two are immediately removed. What I am left with is these two. Coming to these two, it says if it is executing successfully, I do not print anything, but in case if it is not matching it correctly, it will print checksum does not match. So obviously this is the OR command, this is the AND command. You know, in the OR command, if the first command executes successfully, the second one will never execute. So it means if it is matching, what does -C do? C will check. So if this is working correctly, if this is executed successfully, then the second command will never execute. Now if the match fails, then you will print that the checksum does not match. But in the case of AND, if first command executes successfully, then the second command will also execute. So I do not want if it is matching to print this. No, I want if it is matching, then I do not print anything else. I print checksum not print. Okay, so this should be the answer.
Ma'am, basically second and fourth were discarded because of placement of -c, wrong placement of -c.
Yeah.
Okay, and the third one because we do not want both to get executed. We
Or
want
you
this.
have and an or.
Yes, only one to get.
Yeah. If command works fine, one works fine, you do not execute the second command. If the first one fails, you execute the second one. That's what or does. Okay, coming to this regular expression file. I did give a detailed explanation about it. Okay, let me just see what commands are there. Okay, this I have a. Let's try to first analyze without using the terminal, then I'll come to the terminal to explain. Now, understand, you got 4 options and you're not sure about it. Okay, the first one is to try look for the easiest one. So we have to.
What is the question?
What is the question?
The question is to get the complete string of emails. So this line should be entirely printed. This email and whatever there is. This line should be completely printed. Okay. So you have to select the regular expression which gets you this email. So let's keep the last one just to have this. So first of all, I would definitely directly match an email with the quotes. So quotes is an important part. You have to remember this. Followed by a colon. Okay, no space in between. After there's a single space. Till here, we are matching fine for the first option. Let's consider options one by one. Now I match the quotes exactly. Okay, the closing and the ending quotes are matched. I am not bothered taking the comma. It's given. You don't have to take the comma. See, example this. You don't have to take the comma. The quotes is the last thing that you want to include. So okay, I'm happy with the commas not being there. Now I come to this grouping thing. What does this mean? First of all, let me go to the square brackets. I said even in the grep classes I took, if there's a caret symbol inside a square bracket, you mean not
negation.
Something. Yeah, negation. So negation means I'm capturing anything which is not a comma, one or more combination. So I get this name at gravida@protonmail.com. I capture this as it is. Okay. So the first option is definitely correct. Coming to the second option, the only thing is the what you call as the bracket reversal. So there's a bracket reversal there in this option. Now this bracket reversal cannot work like this. If you have dots, plus will capture, okay, fine. So email this space to here, it's capturing as it is. I'm not concerned with this. But whenever something is in a square bracket, what you're trying to do is you're trying to match either of these. So you match the quotes, you match this quotes, but then you're trying to match something else also in between, and this will fail to work because dot plus will mean more characters, but when you put this inside a square bracket also using this backslashes, I think we are trying to match an ERE, not the BRE. It's not given.
It's not given actually.
Yeah. So it's not given. Sometimes it's given, sometimes it's not given. So assuming even if we use this, what does the square bracket do? It will capture one character. So it will not capture this completely and properly. I'll explain this when we come to the terminal part. Okay. Now, let's say I'm typically confused between these two options directly. Okay. Option number C and a D. And I don't know what is the correct answer. So I just don't need to match all the regex. I don't have to work it step by step. The only difference what I see is a star and a plus and star and a plus and a star and a plus. So let's just take the first one to get the correct answer. Email, after email, this space is followed by a star. Star means 0 or more. Okay, so 0 or more will mean that if the space is not present, it will match. But plus will mean at least there has to be one space. But after email, we do not see a space. So simply I can conclude very easily that this will match. Okay. Let's see if, yeah. So with what does the plus would do? Plus will mean exactly there should be at least one or more.
One or more.
Yeah. You have to be clear about this. Coming to
I
this
can't
one.
see your screen, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is that space? Means like where we are using that particular space part, because space removes the white space character, right? It just fetches
No. It's catching the white space
Ha
character.
catching. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it says after email and between the quotes. This part.
If I look from the,
My screen is visible.
like from here, yes. If I look from here, it seems like email is within the quotes. There's no space.
Yeah. So exactly that's what the point is. After email and the quotes and between the colon, you do not see a space. So that's the point. If there was a space, then plus would have worked fine or star would have worked fine. But there's none. That's why star will mean 0. It will just ignore this space and will continue. So that space you have to be. So star means 0 occurrence, one plus will mean at least one occurrence. So star will mean 0 or more. Plus means one or more. Okay. So if you do not remember my words. Star means 0 or more. Plus will mean one or more. Okay. Let me go to this file. I think. Let's start to work this way. Yes. I think I have this JSON file. Yeah. I copied this in advance. So if I try to match with the regex, let me make it short so I can type the exact thing. So if I try to use grep, let me use egrep, plus let me use single quotes only. Let me once check if this is working fine.
I think the intention behind question is the first two are for grep and the bottom two are egrep.
No, you don't have to worry. If you get such cases, don't worry what is grep and what is egrep.
No, because space and all would be egrep only, right?
Egrep, yes.
Yeah. So all those are, yeah, but don't have to worry about it unless you want to confuse yourself. I would suggest don't worry if it is not given explicitly. See, this will fail to match anything. Why? Because even the email was given correctly, at least this part should have matched. This is not an correct syntax. What does plus and dot will mean? It will mean any characters that you are trying to capture. But when it comes with inside the square brackets, this will mean any one character, and you will not get the repeating pattern. And hence,
one question here. This dot and plus, right? This dot and plus basically means that a single character one or more times, and once you add that into the bracket, that is a grouping thing you already do, then it means nothing, right?
So one or more you have put it. Can you repeat once?
This dot means single character, and plus means one or more times.
Yeah.
So this thing, what this will do in particular, if we don't add the brackets.
Dot and plus. If I remove this brackets.
Yes.
Then it will match everything. So that means quotes, then dot and plus means any combination in between, and then you have explicitly put the final quotes also. So then it will capture anything. Even if I put it with the brackets, see, even if I put it like this will also match.
But big bracket will not.
Yeah, the issue with this one was actually obviously if I put it without the backslashes, what will it capture? It will capture only one character, and see, it's not matching the rest of the characters. And one more thing, with the backslashes here, it was literally trying to capture a square bracket inside the file. Okay, so that's why this is wrong. I hope this is clear right now.
Yes.
Okay, 13th one, answer me. which of the commands will ensure both the standard output and the standard error of a command are written to the same file? Be a bit fast about it.
First
A and
and
C.
Yes, A and C. You can either mention it separately, or you can remove just this 2 and 1 and then also and put this like this. This is a syntax part.
Ma'am, how the first one will work? Because command is basically means, is it a command or any command it can be?
Command means any command, not the word command.
Okay.
Any alias, anything. Yeah, so this is a regex. This is a syntax part. Nothing for me to explain. So both of them.
Last option, ma'am.
Last option is wrong.
But means like command one route. Means like
This is a
it is
problem.
right.
You are giving it double redirections. That does not work.
On the third, how the standard error goes to the file?
The same thing. It's you're not writing 2 and 1. This is a syntax part, and in this is done usually.
Error and standard output both will be
Go to
written
the
to
output.txt. This is a syntax. Okay.
Ma'am, second should be correct, na?
Why? Then
Second.
again, double
Second is saying
ones. Double ones. If this arrow was not there, then it was correct. Also, you put it at the last. So this part
no
should come
second.
Yeah, second one. This is the. Yeah, why
Correct.
you do
So
not double,
first one.
double. See,
Just
if
1 second,
you
ma'am.
can, yeah.
2 greater than and to 1 is telling error should go to 1. Standard output 1. And second one is telling now standard output 1 should go to output.txt. So
You cannot use it like this. It will throw an error because you cannot put these two together. See, you are putting here one only. You cannot put two of these together like this. Either you put it
okay.
like this,
So that
it goes to the output.txt and even the errors are moving to the output.txt. So here you are saying first of all errors and this should go to the same file. Then again you are telling this again it should go. So this is not an incorrect syntax issue. Both of them have incorrect syntax issues. Same thing.
okay.
Yeah. This also I answer.
Ma'am, can you explain the option 3 in that previous question?
This is a syntax only. So here it says the correct output, the arrow indicates the correct output should go output.txt, and when you put it, club it together with an AND, it will mean the error should also go to the output.txt. See, there are two ways of writing it. Either you put an arrow and write it like this at the end, then it will mean that one is what? The correct thing, the standard input and the standard output. So the standard output should go to the output.txt, the standard error should go to the standard output.txt. Or you do not mention 2 and 1, you just simply write it like this, that the error should also go to the output.txt and both the output. So this means like somewhat you can take it like an AND thing. AND means one, your standard output and your standard error, both should go to the output.txt. This is syntax, nothing to explain here.
So, like here, greater than sign will redirect the output to output.txt, and the error will be because of an.
Yeah. Error as well as the output will move to the output.txt. Got it? Okay. So next one is you have a large file which has errors and warnings in the file. So assume here one thing. Every line will have either error or warning, not the two of them together. Okay. Which of the following command sequence will accomplish this? So now you have hints being given. Tell me. You can just directly eliminate and tell me. Check the redirections and the ANDs. Sorry, not the redirection, the pipes and the ANDs. You will be able to tell me which is the correct one.
First is correct.
Yes. Why?
First
Because
is correct and last one is correct.
last one is not correct.
Second one is correct.
No.
No,
First,
it is not correct. Second one is not correct.
yeah, third one is correct. No, fourth one is correct. Yeah. So
WC minus W will count the number of words, right?
yeah, so words are there be counting or WC minus LVR?
Ma'am,
But
ma'am, you said that error and warning will be on different lines, no?
Yeah. So I'm explaining. So what
either
happens?
error or warning.
So grep
And
E capital E means you are using extended regular engine. So error or warning from the server.log, and you take the WC minus R, that is the count. So every line has one error or warning. So if we
got
will to count the number of lines, you will get the correct answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to the last one first, then I'll come to the other two options. The error and the warning again same thing, and the word count is the same thing. So whether you are using the word count or line count, that's the same thing, because in either of the cases you are only matching one at a time. So each one has one only, so the count will be the same, the line and the word count will be the same.
Correct.
Now coming to this one, what happens is if I take the server.log and I
Ma'am, both will be coming in the same line, then only that will work.
yeah, if both are coming in the same line, then only this will work. And for the third one, it will count, but if the both lines get executed, they will count separately. So it's given C is for count. So what will happen, let's say if 4 lines have error and 6 lines have warning, so it will print 6 and 4 separately. So not together, not the sum of it. What does grep C error do? So grep C error will check all the lines having error and will give the count. Again, this will also give the count. End means execute successfully, then also the second one will execute successfully. But I will get 2 separate counts, one for error, second for warning. Okay. But the last one and the first one will give either the error or warning. So both of them are counted together. I hope I am clear with this one. Any doubts? Okay, let's come to this final question. Okay, here it's a explicitly break question. So regular expression. So that's why you have so many lines. So which of the following? Let's see the whole question. Okay. So which of the following regular expressions will match IP address from class A and class C? Understand the point. You have been given 3 different types of IP addresses. Each has a range. So you can see 10. So 10 is same, but it goes from 0 to 225, again 0 to 225 and 0 to 225. Okay. But 10 should be there. The second C1, so C1 has 192, and then the last 2 parts go from 0 to 225. Okay. So I have a certain pattern here. So first of all, I want to match it from class A and class C. So class A is this one, and this is the class A. I don't concern myself with the B one. So first let's take upon this class A, and it has 10 to 225. Here the 10s are all of in this, but one thing I could use is use option B, class B, to eliminate my options. So 172. Let's see if any lines has 172, any option. So in this case, I don't see a 172, so we cannot easily eliminate as I wanted. But here I have some options though. One option is we are starting from 10 and 192. So what I'm simply taking is as 10 dot. Okay, just ignore the backslashes for once and just look at the pattern. 10 and dot, and here 192.168, that part is same. Okay, so this pattern, so I'm capturing 2 patterns first, 10 and 192.168. So either there's an or between them, so either I capture this, either I capture this. Okay, followed by
in the first case, the one of the dots will be missing. One of the parts with which will have dots, because it will have only 3 dots with starting with 10.
Yes, exactly. So you can count the number of dots. So here you can see there will be 3 dots. Here also there will be 3 dots, but the option has 1, 2 dots, and this will form only one option will form 3 dots. Yes, this is correct. So here 10.
B option.
Yeah, option B and option D are the
No,
correct.
I am asking if C is wrong, then why D is correct? It's like what is the thing that basically they look almost similar only.
Yeah. So let me come to the options one by one. I'll explain. I'm even seeing
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah. So for the second option, 10, I'm trying to do it without the terminal because in the quiz you cannot access the terminal. I'll explain that in the terminal. So 10, you see, followed by 0 to 9, 1, 2, 3. So this means first, yeah, you're doing the match one by one. So 10 first, then 0 to 9. So I can have, so 0 to 25, 2 to 5. It's a big number. So I'm doing the second option. So I can match anything after the 10, as you can see in this pattern. So it can be 1 digits. So 1 digit, 2 digit, or 3 digit. Okay, simply. I'm just doing the class A matching. Then this one follows the 1 digit part. Second one would also be following the 1 digit part and the 1 digit part. So I'm trying to match something as this 10 0 0 1. Okay, I'm able to match this. Fine. Next step is the again 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 means after 10, whether it's 2 characters, 3 characters, anything I'm able to match. You can infer from the option itself, as you can see. Second one, I'm doing the other one separately. So 192, 168, this is given, the pattern is given here. Again, you are doing 1 match, 2 match, 3 match, again the 1 match, 2 match, 3 match. Okay, this is same. Now comes to the option C and the D. Even let's see what is exactly different here. Okay, the grouping brackets 1313 209 13 192 168 09. No, there's a printing issue in this one. The options are exactly the same.
So basically, if
Yeah, the
the
printing
third one is
option.
wrong,
Yeah, the printing option, printing error is there. So maybe this website has it, or maybe the question paper has it. So both are correct here. And this is a printing issue. They're exactly the same. I matched it.
so this was one question that I asked as well.
Yeah. So printing issue most likely. So here also you are doing exactly the same thing as the second option, mostly the same. So here what you were doing is grouping the pattern matching. So that's what I explained when I was at the start of
Two
the
times
class.
you are doing that, and then one time separately you are doing that.
Yeah, so 2 times I'm including with the dots, and the third time I'm matching it separately without the dot. Any doubts in this question? So here if you have the question why the third option is right and the fourth option is wrong, both are correct. They are the same thing. No difference there.
Okay.
Any doubts apart from this in this question? Or I'll come just to the last one. Okay, cat website.txt. I use a so given the following contents of website.txt, what will be the output of the command? So I take the website.txt. This looks like this. Okay. Then I do cut minus t f3. So
Or
now,
slash divide.
yeah. So slash, this will mean one part. Between the slash, it will mean empty part. The second and the example.com, this will come as the third part. Okay. Remember this. So what the third part is, this is one part, empty string second part, this is third part. So www.example.com/page1. Now I do grep minus v. Why minus v is invert matching. So I'm not matching this www dot simply. Okay. Now
So another example and example.org. All three will be taken, right?
no. See the head minus one, head tail minus
Yes,
one.
tail minus one.
Yeah.
The last
So the last one.
The last
Example.org.
Now, if we had a sort here, then
Sort here. If where which position after grep?
after grep.
Okay, after grep, if we had a sort, what would we have? Example test domain Another example, cite an example. So sort, if it was ordered alphabetically, then you would have gotten cite.co. No, the test.org. You would have gotten.
Ma'am, it would not be there, right? Because www is not we are taking. We can only have this subdomain another example.com and example.org, right?
Then you would get subdomain.
Why subdomain? Why not another example?
So how you are, if you are taking the tail one, and if you are doing simply sort will sort it in ascending order. Then
Tail will be the last one, right? So S,
Yeah.
okay, you are saying subdomain.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Why the page 6 is not coming?
Page 6 is not coming because
You have F minus F3.
F3. Okay.
Ma'am, I have made some more.
you have more doubts. I am explaining that. I think I was telling you those were not a part of the syllabus. You
Few
went.
questions. Okay, these questions.
Yeah. So coming back to this question, I'm just explaining about the Jan term questions.
Okay. So
Jan
that
term
means February we were having examinations. So skip all those questions which are not part this term.
Yeah. So you were saying February term 2024. I'm just going through them. 7, 9, 12, and 16. So you can see 7-1 out of syllabus.
Okay.
Okay. This one not there. 9-1.
It is there.
9-1. These two are not there.
Not there.
No, these two are out of syllabus. This is for loop. This is bash scripting in week 6. Not there.
So my question was, means we didn't learn for loop, but we used it in some of the sessions. So I thought that it would be there. I was not aware of this change.
Out of syllabus.
Okay.
And this is also out of syllabus. Question 10. This is bash script. You will not understand right now.
Okay. 12 and 16.
12 and
16.
out of syllabus.
This one again out of syllabus.
Yeah, because this is this addition is related to the week 6. You will not understand this right now. These brackets are bash script week 6. And what was the last one?
16th. I think that would also be out of syllabus. So this question.
You should be very happy. Everything is out of syllabus.
No, the 16th one is not out of syllabus.
Not out of syllabus.
Okay.
So 16th one, I think. What is the question? Assume that assume for each parent subject, how many subdirectories are present in the current working directory? Let me see. The answer is 14, right? Learning mode. Yeah, answer is 14.
But how you calculate it?
So this is the main directory. So main directory, except removing this dot and this dot, 16 minus 2 is equals to 14.
Okay, so that's how we have to check. Actually, I was not understanding the question itself.
So see the subdirectory. So you are asked to count the number of subdirectories here. Okay, inside your main directory.
No, I got confused with each. Can you move a little bit down to see the question? I was getting confused with each directory has two hard links, one for current working directory, another from its parent directory. So that means that those two files, the dot and double dot.
So dot and the double dot. So this means the total number of directories it has. The current directory. So this 16 means the total number of directories this folder has. Minus the dot and the double dot is equals to 14. 16 minus 2 is equals to 14.
Ma'am, what are you saying? I'm not getting anything.
Just wait a minute. I'll explain this.
Maybe you can make a print ls command and then show ls minus.
No. What Purvendra is hearing his doubt.
So the difference between ls and ls minus a will help.
No, just wait for a minute. I'm making him explain something. Then I'll come and generalize and explain you this. What he is asking is that each directory has two hard links, and you have to count the number of subdirectories present in the current working directory. Okay, so the current working directory you can see has 16 folders. So you remove the dot and the double dot. Dot means itself and the double dot means its parent directory. That two subdirectories you remove. What is it? 16 minus 2 is equals to 40.
Okay. Okay, the entire listing is over here. We just have to remove the parent and the one which we are in.
Yeah.
Okay, and the remaining are the links.
14. Yeah. Remaining are the subdirectories.
This L is what defines the soft link, right?
This is the soft link. This is the character file.
D is directory.
Yeah, that you know. The soft link you can see it two ways. This arrow and this L.
And then this September of 2024. I think most of them are from the syllabus itself for that one. The last question for this particular paper which you were doing, it was similar to what we did at the last of July paper. But just a little bit different. There was a short question related to that in.
So now I think you will get that.
I was able to do that, but here I got tricked.
Okay. So I think I cleared this doubt, right?
September 2024.
Yeah, and the other one we just discussed February one and the September one is cleared. July one Ayush will discuss tomorrow. Just ask him if.
I think September one where it's clear. I think you did today July, and earlier you showed February. September it is not clear.
No, September. What was I doing right? This is July. So July I cleared it, and I told you about the February one.
So September is remaining.
So this one I think again most will be out of syllabus. What you can do? Yeah, what you can do is can you just ping me up later about this one on the disk. Just check and review. I'll just explain.
Or maybe we can take it in another session as well.
Yeah, tomorrow's session you can ask it. Tomorrow's session you can ask it. So just to explain you those who got confused with this question, this is a different question. It states the directory listing that is mentioned as it is. Tomorrow Ayush will discuss this in detail. I'm just giving you a brief idea. So you are supposed to find a number of subdirectories. So in the question itself, in the screenshot itself, it's given this is the number of directories. So it has 16 directories here. Now it says you don't have to count. The hint is given here. So one is for the current working directory, another for its parent directory that you remove. So that means you remove these two and then you get 16 minus 2 is equals to 14. Now Ayush will discuss this tomorrow in detail. I'll ask him explicitly to explain this in detail just to give you what the question was asking. Okay, so how many subdirectories were present in the current working directory? So that would be 16 minus 2, 14. Okay, so this lists
so it has nothing to do with the hard links. Means like if it was soft link, then also the same answer.
So soft link you can count it too.
Okay.
Soft link you can directly count. That is given also, no? In one of the question, I think how many soft links are present. This is 2.
So that's 2. That's 2.
Okay. Okay, then we'll end the session today.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you were able to get a good revision.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Good night, everyone.